Hello, everyone. Hope everyone's okay. Happy frickin' Friday. We're streaming a little early today because we have a case in 26 minutes, and then we'll be streaming for a little bit after the case. Hope everyone's doing well. How's your week? Mine wasn't busy until like Wednesday or Thursday. It's a civil case. It's Rick Wade's versus versus the SASP. I haven't really looked at it. I got a little bit prepped just to be able to have a little bit of like a pre-trial script. What is this phone call? Oh. Yeah, I do too. They're more fun. And they're far less like, unless they're ridiculous, which this one isn't ridiculous. It's low stakes. This is the last case that Maddie took as a, this is the last case that Madison took as a magistrate, and so it's that kind of level of like there. It's been a busy and cozy week. What ended up making it like super duper busy for you? But we got a weekend ahead of us, so. All right. Do we have any food? We do have food. We're gonna take a little bit more though. Tea. This can go. This can go. Oh, I got cupcakes. We'll give out cupcakes. Hospital is always unpredictable. That's true. And it can be really aggravating. Because of the unpredictability. So you're like, who am I dealing with? What are the doctors gonna say? All this kind of good stuff and bad stuff, I guess.
Five, 2563.
Hello.
Hello.
Hold on. Okay, yeah, we're good. But yeah, no, work didn't pick up until like Wednesday. One, because we had President's Day. Two, we didn't really have anything super pressing. And so I had stuff prepped and like doing certain, I wish I could discuss outside of generalities. I had things prepped and sent over for like document review and blah, blah, blah. In the last 3 days, it just kicked up. Yeah, that's all I can really say. Oh, all right.
What the fuck is this scooter gang out in front of RPD? What is this MC doing in front of my RPD?
Your RPD.
My RPD, yes. My office is
Your
here.
RPD.
What the heck?
The same was mine.
Okay, that was kind of funny, actually. But it should be a good day today. We haven't picked up Madison's check. Oh,
Hi, Amy.
can I help you guys? Oh, all right. Slash me, sirens are on. Slash me, you hear the sirens and can't sue me. Slash me is not corrupt. Oh, I have an interesting Sam update. Because I've been mostly playing Sam off stream. Well, obviously I've been exclusively playing Sam off stream. Because grinding can be kind of boring. Let's be real. Oh yes, let's seize my own car. So, essentially, we were leaving the hospital for like the second time, and we got right here, near like the pink cage. And so I was like, actually, I saw that there were comps over here on this side. And for those who know the map on GTA really, really well, there's a big median right here. So the only two cop cars were on this side. Here, I'll pause it. The only two cop cars were here on the left side, big median. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to slow down just in case. And so I'm going forward, and all of a sudden, I hear on Sam. And it turns out she hit two cops. It was middle of the night. No, there were nothing over here. there was an NPC that swerved from the left lane to the right lane, and we struck 2 comps. So I had her pull over, and when they pulled over, one of them was on the ground and was like making rolls for whatever reason. I don't know whether it was like death saving throws or whatever. And so Sam stepped out because she's like, okay, maybe they won't charge me with like a felony, so I can keep my bar license. That's Sam's thought. I don't care if Sam keeps her bar license or not. It's just like the character is going to lose it. It's just a matter of time. And which is actually kind of fun because it's like a waiting game to see what she can fucking get into without without breaking any rules. So she gets out. She's like, okay, I'm stopping, you know, do whatever you need to. And the cop's like, face away, put it in cuffs, blah, blah, blah. Got the identification. And he's like, we have like five cops on duty. So I'm going to take her to the hospital because he was trying to contact TACMed. And we're like, we've been trying to call TACMed. It was very busy. And so, she's like, we just came back from the hospital, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, well, I'll just put out a warrant later. And, you know, take in information and put out a warrant later. And so she's like, oh, well, you know, because Sam dooms, because she's a silver spedfoon brat. She's like, oh, that's my bar license. I'm going to lose everything, blah, blah, blah. And as soon as she gets unhandcuffed, the cop, this is such a great scene. The cop goes and picks up the other cop, the trooper that was on the ground, and then starts carrying her to the car. Sam's passenger, which is her fiance, which is Athena, Athena Dracos, goes over and is like, stab, 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 stab. And Sam's like, Athena, don't do this, and she stabbed the cop. And then the cop that was on the ground goes, oh, hell no. As they drive away, she pulls out the camera. So the car was in Sam's name. She got it completely PID'd. The license is what was in the MDT as of like 3 weeks ago. I don't know if it is or not anymore. So that if I were to take a guess, she either has a warrant or will have a warrant, and so should Athena, because it shouldn't be too hard to figure out who the Athena is. I don't know how many Athenas exist on the server, but that was her legal government name. She was wearing a helmet though, but it's gonna make for some spicy roleplay. What is kind of what I need to do is, I know the warrant's only gonna be 5 days. 3 of those days I'm not going to be online. So I might have to reach out of character and tell them to, like, hey, I'm not going to be online. You should probably extend it, because I don't know Purple's rules on that. Because I got Madison today for all of the court stuff, and then tomorrow I'm not being online for any reason whatsoever because it's my date day with my partner. And then Sunday I have to catch up on work, and I have a couple games planned with a few people. So it's like weird and shitty timing that I won't have Sam online to do like the warrant stuff. And so, Vorn, welcome in, appreciate you. So I've got to figure out if I can reach out and be like, hey, can there be like some sort of approval to extend the warrant, blah, blah, blah. Because it's really shitty to like go through a scene like that, assuming that there's a warrant that was issued. Because they may have not issued it yet. I don't know either of the, I don't know who it was. I think the girl, I'm super excited for the date day. I'm just not sure who to contact. I'm pretty sure the woman that was hit, that was on the ground, was Maria Ruiz, which Sparks knows as a friend of Lucy. Because, I mean, like, it's boring to be offline and dodge your warrant unless you have good reason. And even then, just extend it. So we'll see. Oh, actually. 3, 2... Hello! Just casually eating spaghetti in the middle of the fucking thing. Who else is around? Okay, so there's another... Rose has something at 8. I ordered Panera, chat, because I'm feeling a little icky this today. My stomach hurts. There's 2 cases tomorrow. 1 on Sunday. What is Mommy et al. V. Klaus? That looks like a civil case. Wait. Ah, here it is. The fuck is Mommy? Theodore, Mommy, Mia Dawson, Zachary Miller, and Scuzzy Jerry versus Elijah Klaus. What's the statement of claim? So this is the case after ours. Klaus was found guilty by the courts of San Andreas for defrauding the state in a money-making scheme involving scrapping Uwu cafes. Oh. Uwu cafes, air conditioners, and then using state funds to have them replaced, only to harvest them all again. The above-mentioned plaintiffs are all shared owners of the Uwu cafe, were evicted from the cafe as a result, and the building and all its assets were seized by the state through civil forfeiture. They're collectively suing Mr. Klaus, which is at fault for the cafe's seizures for damages and losses. Huh. Oh, they're asking for $500,000, which is probably going to be the purchase of the Uwa Cafe again. That's a really good one. I really like... Yeah, Steel Cases tomorrow. I fucking love that character so much. Even if the character pissed Skylar off over on Onyx, assuming that the character's similar... it may be a different steel, like a different steel, but the character's fucking wild. But no, that's gonna be a fantastic lawsuit, and it's a really good like in character way to explain like I own this property, I'm going after this, and then they respawn, and so there's not like an abuse of mechanics there. So that's I love that a lot. All right, who is on duty? Tiomi, Rudy, me, Tusk, Rose, Eve, Gordon, Panelina's, Jackson, Diamond. So it's just Justice. Is he Justice? Boom. Easy. It does sound like an IRL lawsuit. Like it's insurance fraud. And the people that were involved in the Uwu. The people that were involved in like where is it? Calais White Garage is here. So the people that were involved in like running Uwu, that's a really good like response to insurance fraud lawsuit. Assuming the others weren't, like, found guilty. Oh, hey, Chalks of Justice! And then there were 5. Can I not, like... There we go. There we go. Alright, I have a BLT, some apparently homemade chili, and a small baguette coming. This should be exciting. Anything happened today? I have a civil case for basically... before now, I have no idea. My partner had a really good day at work, but otherwise, unsure. Rose has a case at 8 EST, and I have one in 11 minutes. Both civil. Rose is the Ubu, and mine is some attempt to pierce QPI. This was wild. This was... I have no idea if there's any, like... Oh, I guess we could check. No, it'd be under citizen. Sparks. Voluntarily gave... Okay. No, there's nothing. You know what we need to do, chat? I need to contact somebody about trying to get... Or we need to have Madison contact someone. See if we can contact, like, the federal government or something. Not, like, admins, but, like, go through the in-character things to get a Class 3 and an open carry license. Because she... I mean, she technically should. So... It's not like she would have a shotgun anyway. Just, like, having... Like, it just doing the lore thing would be fun. The Golden Isle is seeking donations. I love... Like, I understand having, like, unique, like, unique apps and stuff like that when it comes to, like, for example, like, NoPixel has Twatter and Onyx has Twinsta. I really like the immersive, like, having the apps from the, like, Bleeder and Life Invader from the GTA universe. The $10 I offered was tempting. Oh, God. Fuck y'all that didn't vote for Annabelle. It'll be really interesting if Sam gets her felonies, then Madison's the one that votes. What is this? Ah, yes. Oh my God! What? Hold on. Streamer mode engaged. Where is it? Dear God. Please, dear God. You can still tell. It was on Life Invader. I don't know what to do. Hi, Wisteria. It's good to see you. How are you? Orange is the new color. Oh, God. I Married My Dad, this year's top grossing documentary. Jesus Christ. Well, now, chat, we have to have streamer mode. A bit sick? Oh, I'm sorry, honey. I hope you feel better. Oh, that's the Billy. That's the Billy Sprinkles model. Dirty Mike, Meat Wagon, Meat Skewers. Oh, that's so cool. Gave me a ticket for trying to have an honest living. I love that so much. This is really neat. He has a big truck. It's a meat wagon. He just sets up, has meat in the front. I love that. Now I'm scared of Life Invader chat. Oh god. Oh, she's bringing Roof 6. I love that. I love this bit so much.
Oh no, she's here. We're good. Hello, Yana.
Hello. Would you like me to announce your court case, Counselor Luna, on Life Invader?
Sure. Go for it.
Well, at least it's game. Sure. Yeah, I can do that. It says, now hearing Wades v. the San Andreas State Police, a civil matter at City Hall Courthouse. Is there anything in particular you want me to put else on there?
I'm amazing. But no, Your Honor.
Perfect. I've decided that is the post. Now hearing Wades v. SASP, a civil matter at City Hall Courthouse. Watch Luna v. Stoker go head to head to see if Rick Wades deserves money, I guess.
Nailed it.
Thank you.
He does.
Okay.
That is to be determined, Mr. Wades,
Your
and you
Honor.
are well aware of that.
Yes, Your Honor. That was my personal opinion, Your Honor.
Oh, okay, so your opinions do not reflect your... Okay, so when you come up to testify, your opinions do not reflect the nature of your case or your counselor.
Say what?
Okay, good to know. Oh, God. So good. Ooh, my food might be here. Food? Food? Dinner. Dinner is like 4 blocks away. Okay, cool. I've decided that even though I don't do the thing where I'm like, hey world, this is me, I'm an influencer, I still toggled the blur all images option on my phone for Life Invader because I just saw giant titties all over it.
Oh dear.
It was very disappointing. And now there's Wades.
What?
Nothing. You just mentioned that and you immediately. Never mind.
I just got a text message, Your Honor.
Yeah. Okay. We are open for best if you want anything solved. P.S. We are really good and can solve everything. All right, we will give a grace period of about 5-6 minutes until Counselor Stroker can attend, just to be there for posterity. And then I will start making very angry phone calls. Oh, God.
Your Honor, due to, you know, a potential conflict in my scheduling. Is it okay if I call him, let him know I'm here? He might be waiting to see if I am here or not.
Counselor Circle should be well aware. I assume you're Mr. Ryder.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yeah, he should be well aware to be here on time. You are welcome to give him a phone call before I start giving him a courtesy call. That might
Okay.
come across a lot more pleasant. Why is there so much ass on Life Invader? What? 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 Who's playing a chimpanzee? Oh my god. Today's gonna be a good day. Joe Fudge? Oh, that makes sense. That makes perfect sense, actually. Good.
Well, I tried to save him.
I will give him a 5-minute grace period. Speaking of which,
Apologies, Your Honor.
you're perfectly fine. So this is a time, and I don't believe we have anyone else. Counselor Luna, do you have anything that you need for the petitioner plaintiff side? Or are you ready to proceed?
I'm ready to proceed, Your Honor.
All right. And respondent defendant, Counselor Stroker, are you waiting on anyone? Or are you good to proceed? There aren't any other witnesses, so I'm not sure.
We're good to proceed. Oh, yeah, we're good to proceed.
Yeah, no worries. Was that a request for snacks?
Maybe.
Yes,
Well,
Your Honor.
You put the sign away.
Well, I got scared.
It's gonna be your job to distribute the snacks.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Your Majesty.
Don't call me that.
Thank you, Your Majesty.
We got snacks.
All right, we will proceed accordingly. So, today is the 21st of February, 2025, and this court will be hearing the matter of Rick Wades versus Trooper Ty Ryder and the San Andreas State Police. As a reminder to all counsel and those attending in the gallery, the state of San Andreas and this court hears mostly criminal trials, but this is a civil matter. The burden of proof required is at the preponderance with the standard of comparative negligence. For those who are unaware, this means that a plaintiff can still recover damages if they are partially at fault for the incident, with a reduction of damages comparing to the level of fault on each side, should the defendant be more likely to be at fault. Statement of claim reads as follows. On January 25th, 2025, the defendant, Maverick Wades, which I assume we are amending to Rick Wades, speaking on the phone with his client, Abdul Al-Wahim, and told he was being pulled over in a traffic stop by a SASP. Wades went to Mr. Al-Wahim's location because he believes his client has been being harassed by the SASP, and Wades wanted to make sure everything was okay. Upon arrival, I swear to all that is holy, I'm putting a character limit on statement of claims going forward. Upon arriving, Wades identified himself as Al-Wahim's lawyer and asked for the reason to why Al-Wahim was being pulled over. Trooper Ryder gave the lawful order for Wades to back up, and Wades complied. Al-Wahim was given a ticket and was told he was good to leave, ending the traffic stop and detention. The troopers returned and entered their vehicle. Wades then entered Al-Wahim's taxi as a passenger, and Trooper Ryder exited his vehicle and approached the taxi. He told Wades to show his identification, to which Wades asked what were the legal grounds, and the trooper informed him that I'm not reading the rest of this, you can read it on the docket. Basically, trooper ID'd. They don't think it's legal.
Pretty much.
For the record, Mr. Wades is requesting the following relief. Punitive damages of $50,000 from the San Andreas State Police, $50,000 in punitive damages for Corporal Ty Ryder, legal fees of $25,000 as per the given contract to counselor, civil filing fees of $2,000. This is a total amount of $127,000 on the line. That is the requested relief. We'll start with the plaintiff. Do you have any pretrial motions?
No, we just want to make sure that Mr. Alahim's statement is recognized.
It is already recognized by the court due to severe scheduling conflicts. Counselor Sturker, do you have any issues with the statement? I will be giving you time at the end of near the end of the plaintiff's case to be able to poke holes in it.
Yeah, sure. The statement can stay.
Okay. Then defense, do you have any pretrial motions?
Well, my client here seemed to have done a Houdini, so I'm sure he'll be back in a moment.
He better wake up. I'm going to be slightly mad if he doesn't wake up. You know, because he's sleeping right next to you. Just spritz him like a cat, Sturker. Just get like a water bottle in.
I'll just give him a little nudge here.
Yeah, I'm sure I'm sure it'll be fine. Okay. Well, then we'll go ahead and enter this court into order. And Counselor Luna, it is your floor for opening statements. Please proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, people of the court, I do not take civil rights violations lightly. Not only are they egregious, but they are completely unavoidable if a police officer was a good police officer. And these days, finding good police officers has been few and far between. In the case of today, we are bringing forth Trooper Corporal Ty Ryder to hold him accountable for their sad excuse of an attempt at good police work, and the SASP for their sad excuse of an attempt for well-rounded training so that troopers aren't being shoved out into the streets, not understanding what a basic damned traffic stop entails. We are going to learn the hard way, and that's just because you are not. I'm sorry. We are going to learn the hard way that just because you are an officer and words come out of your mouth hole doesn't mean those words are a lawful order. And just because you have a fancy car with lights on them that intimidate people to pull over doesn't mean that you are performing a lawful traffic stop. Mr. Wade's had his Fourth Amendment rights violated not once, but twice. He had it violated by being unlawfully detained and then violated again for being unlawfully ordered to produce an ID without reasonable suspicion that a crime had been, was being, or would be committed. There's a running joke going around San Andreas that San Andreas has turned into a police state, and it's because stuff like this goes on every single day, and people have no idea their rights are being violated, Your Honor. Mr. Wade's did because Mr. Wade's is a lawyer. But there are so many people who don't know that forcing someone to ID themselves for no other reason but to have them ID themselves is unconstitutional. And pulling someone over just because you feel like it is also unconstitutional. I expect better from our PD, and I'm hoping your ruling in the plaintiff's favor today is enough to wake them up to how much needs to be undone and taught correctly. Thank you.
Oh, I see where she's going with this. All right, perfect. Defense, you may proceed.
Your Honor, clearly the plaintiff is a lawyer, yes, but the fact that he knows that you shouldn't be interfering in active police investigations is quite questionable. Also, the fact that not only did he interfere with an active police investigation, he became the subject of a police investigation himself based on the statements he made on scene.
I figured that's where they were going to go with it.
They don't tell him exactly at that moment what he's being investigated for does not mean that they have no right to investigate him. We will prove that in court, and hopefully in the end of this, everybody will learn something today. That's all.
All right. Councilor Luna, you may call a witness or highlight evidence. How would you like to proceed?
I would like to call Mr. Rick Wades to the stand, please.
All right, Mr. Wades, if you could approach the stand. What would you like to swear under today?
I'm happy to swear on the San Andreas Bar Association.
Do you have something less cringe?
No, I'm quite a cringe person, Your Honor.
All right, perfect. Do you swear in the
Swear on
firm?
me.
You swear in
No
the
objection, Your Honor.
firm the testimony you'll be giving today is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, and the pains and penalties of perjury, up to and including death, and having to have a better hairstyle. So help you, dear God, Wades, you're really cringe.
Yes, Your Honor. So cringe.
Perfect. Counselor Luna, if you could proceed, I just ask you guys to take just a second or two between question and answer to give time for objections and for me to finish typing down all of the stuff.
Sure, Your Honor. All right. Can you state your name for the record?
Yes, of course. My name is Rick Wades, Esquire.
Very good. Mr. Wades, who were you on the phone with on the morning of January 25th when this incident took place?
I was on the phone to my client, Abdul Alwahim.
And what did Mr. Alahim say to you?
Abdul Alwahim and I were talking about what was, well, it's a private matter. I can't talk about it. It's attorney-client privilege. But as we were talking about it, he indicated that he was being pulled over by police on Alta Street.
Why did you decide to go to Abdul?
Well, Abdul Alwahim had recently had his driver's license revoked, and every day he calls me, telling me that the San Andreas State Police are harassing him and pulling him over at every traffic light, every opportunity. And I wanted to make sure that my client's rights were being protected.
Okay, and... Sorry, am I going too fast, Your Honor?
No, you can proceed.
Okay. When you got there, what was happening?
When I arrived, I observed Abdul Alwahim and his yellow and blue taxi cab pulled over on Alta Street with 3 San Andreas State
Actually,
Police
hold on. Can I do
cruisers,
this?
behind it. Abdul Alwahim was the only person in his vehicle. Strong showing from the San Andreas State Police. And I pulled up
can.
about 100 meters past the traffic stop at a parking spot on Alta Street.
Who did that traffic stop involve?
Well, like I said, it involved 3 San Andreas State Police cruisers. Ty Ryder was one of the officers there. I believe Patty Murphy, a cadet, was there as well. I believe there was 4 total San Andreas State Police officers, maybe 5.
What did you say to police when you arrived?
Well, I walked from my car 100 meters away down to where the traffic stop was, and I announced myself as Abdul Alwahim's lawyer, and I asked what was going on.
What did they tell you to do?
Ty Ryder said to me, "Back away. This is a traffic stop. Leave the area."
Did you comply?
Yes, I did. I walked 10 meters away from the traffic stop and stood watching it from 10 meters away.
In freedom units, how far away is that?
Oh, sorry, freedom units, 30 feet.
Yeah, thank you for that. Thank you. I'm very American and a soldier. I appreciate that.
Your Honor, I would like to point to Exhibits A through D at this time. In particular, I would like to highlight Exhibit B, which shows the ample amount of distance between Mr. Ways' position and the location of the traffic stop.
Lang.
Mr. Waits, were you detained at this time?
No, I was just told
Exhibit
to
B.
leave the area, which I complied with.
At what point did you join Mr. Alahim in his car?
Well, the police officers continued their traffic stop. Patty Murphy wrote the ticket, handed it to Abdul Alwahim. They all left, telling Abdul he was free to go. And then Abdul pulled his taxi cab 30 feet up the road to where I was stood and stopped where I was there. So I then walked over to his cab and hopped in.
Was the traffic stop complete?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
How do you know this?
Well, like I said, the police officers told Abdul he was free to go. They all then left towards their police cruisers, which were at the location of the traffic stop, hopped in their police cruisers, and turned the lights off.
Upon entering Mr. Alahim's vehicle, where were the troopers who pulled him over?
Well, the vehicles were parked 30 feet behind us, but as soon as I entered the taxi cab, Corporal Ty Ryder then exited his vehicle and ran up to my passenger window, approaching us.
Why did Ryder exit his vehicle?
Well, he told me
Speculation?
when he arrived at the window that he wanted to
No?
see my state
No,
ID.
Stroker? No? Okay.
What was the reasoning for wanting to see your ID?
He said he wanted to confirm that I was actually a certified lawyer.
What did you say to Trooper Ryder?
I told him
Corporal
that.
Ryder, I apologize.
Oh, thank you. Corporal Ryder. I told Corporal Ryder that if he had asked me earlier, then I would have been happy to comply with him. But since the traffic stop had concluded and there is no lawful reason for me to show him my identification, then I would not be doing that. And I bid him good day.
Were you detained at this time?
Corporal Ryder never told me I was detained, no.
What happened next?
At this point, Abdul Alawahim, since he had been told he was free to go, decided he would drive the vehicle off so that me and him could continue our conversation.
When Mr. Elohim pulled his car away, did he break any traffic laws?
No, he pulled away very safely and maintained his lane and maintained speed as well.
Did anything at all happen between when Mr. Elohim pulled away and when the troopers flagged him over that would warrant a traffic stop?
Nothing lawful did, but Corporal Ryder did yell into his radio, "Pull that vehicle over!" And then all of the cruisers that were stopped 30 feet away took their lights on and pulled up behind us to indicate they were pulling us over.
As a legal expert, what is needed for a traffic stop to be initiated?
Reasonable
Objection.
suspicion that a crime has
Objection,
is or
Stroker,
will be
objection.
committed.
No.
During
Okay.
this time, what did Corporal Ryder ask you to do?
Well, we stopped the vehicle at a traffic light, and someone over the loudspeaker told Abdul Alawahim to pull over to the side of the road, which he complied with. Then Ty Ryder walked up to the passenger side of the taxi cab once more, and he ordered me out of the vehicle.
Did you comply?
I did at this point, yes.
Why?
Well, I always tell my clients that you should always comply with what a police officer orders of you, even when it's unlawful, because they are going to arrest you unlawfully, and
that's
it's
correct,
easier
yes.
to sue them afterwards when they do so than it is to deal with the consequences of not doing it.
Good advice. Was ordering you out of the car a legal order?
I mean, Pennsylvania versus Mims would indicate that at a traffic stop, he does
Jesus
have the
fuck, Wade.
lawful right to order me out of the vehicle. But as far as I was concerned, the traffic stop itself was not lawful. So, no, not really.
Okay.
What was asked of you next?
Corporal Ryder once more demanded that I show my state ID.
How did you respond?
I asked him under what legal grounds did he want to see my state ID? Had I committed a crime? Those kind of questions.
Did Corporal Ryder reply?
He did. He stated that he wanted to see my state ID.
How did you respond to this?
I said to him, why don't you show me your badge so I can confirm who you are and make sure that my civil rights are protected, and then I'll show you my state ID.
Did he comply?
No, instead he told me to face away with my hands up.
Did you eventually show Corporal Ryder your ID?
Yes, as he was saying these words, I showed him my state ID and turned around with my hands up.
No objections, Stroker.
Were you threatened with anything if you didn't
Okay.
show your ID?
Yeah, he threatened to arrest me if I didn't comply with his unlawful orders.
As a legal expert, would this have been a good arrest?
Oh no, definitely not. This would have constituted even more civil damages under the Fourth Amendment right violations.
Stroker.
Why wouldn't it have been a good arrest?
Because he's violating my rights, goddammit.
Did Corporal Ryder ever provide you with his badge number?
No, as soon as I showed him my state ID, he looked at the MDT. He searched my name up in the MDT to check if I was a bar certified lawyer. Once he had satisfied his curiosity, he then walked away from me.
Okay. Counselor Stroker?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
fine
my
now.
turn.
You're good.
All right.
No.
No.
You're just,
Yeah, no, you pointed the microphone there, counselor, towards the plaintiff, so it was getting a weird echo from all the stuff.
I
Yeah, no
see.
worries. Yeah, if you could
Whoops.
just turn that off if you don't mind until it's your time.
Apologies sorry about that.
No, it's okay. I understand. You don't know technology. It's fine. All right, if you could proceed, counselor.
Sure. I don't remember. Did I ask how did you ID Ty Ryder?
You did not.
Okay. How did you ID Corporal Ryder?
Well, as he was walking away from him, I ran up to him and I took a photo of him, and I once more demanded he show me his badge, which he then eventually did comply with. And so I knew he was a corporal of the San Andreas State Police, Corporal Ty Ryder.
Does not look good for Ryder.
So to get this right, you were illegally detained and given unlawful orders to produce an ID without any reasonable suspicion.
Objection.
That a crime was
Counsel
committed.
is testifying.
Yeah, I'm just gonna sustain that. Please ask a different question.
We could just strike that, Your Honor. I'm
Sounds
done with my
perfect.
questioning.
All right, perfect. Defense. You may proceed with cross.
Hello, Mr. Wades.
Hey, how you doing, Richard?
I'm doing all right. Did Ty Ryder say anything to you? Okay, so let's get grounded here. So when you approached Abdul Al-Wahim at the traffic stop, and you said that you are his lawyer, did you say anything more to Ty Ryder?
Not that I remember. I just said that I'm his lawyer and asked what was going on.
Okay. When you were told to back away, you walked away 30 feet.
Yes.
When
Yes, I did.
yeah. When the cadet Patty Murphy told Abdul Al-Wahim that he was free to go, were you told that you're free to go?
Well, no one approached me. They all went back to their police cruisers, and Abdul Al-Wahim was told he was free to go, and then drove up to me. So I was never told I was detained. I was never indicated that I was detained. I was just told to leave the area, which I complied with, and everyone else went back to their police cruisers. So it's a reasonable assumption that I was never under detainment, and also that no one really cared to talk to me because they wanted me off the scene.
Are you aware that traffic stops are considered active police investigations?
No, they're not. No, that's a ridiculous statement.
Why is that?
A traffic stop is just a traffic violation. It's nothing more. There's no usually no investigation that comes from it. It's just, someone runs a red light and they get a citation. They're traffic violations. They're infractions. They're nothing very serious.
So you realize when someone is committing traffic violations, the police have to stop them in order to identify as part of their investigation on who is conducting the traffic violations, right?
I think you're confusing criminal investigations with traffic violations, which is that's fine. But yeah, no, they're not the same thing.
Okay, you're familiar with the penal code then, right?
Of course, I'm a bar certified lawyer.
Okay, do you know what obstruction of justice is?
Yeah, I'm very aware of what that is.
Okay. So considering that the officers were stopping the taxi driven by Abdul Al-Wahim to identify the driver and possibly give him a citation or ask him what's going on.
Objection. The counselor's testifying. Can we
all right.
say a question?
True. All right.
You just
No rebuttal. No rebuttal.
that was all right. I was just gonna let it go because he was leading. That's different.
When Abdul Al-Wahim was told he was free to go, he pulled up to you, right?
Yeah, after the police officers all went and hopped back in their cruisers, he then pulled up to me.
Did he state anything to you when he pulled up to you?
Yeah, Abdul told me that he said the officer said that he was free to go, and he said, "Jump on in."
Okay. Did you not want to state? Did you not want to stay and inquire more from the officers after that traffic stop?
No, why would I want to engage with the police any further than I need to? It's dangerous out here, man. They shoot people with their hands up.
Do you know what fraud is?
Sure.
Have you ever met Ty Ryder before?
If I have, then he's been fairly forgettable. I meet a lot of troopers in my my job as a lawyer.
Okay.
You think there's personal gain in claiming to be a lawyer at a active police investigation?
No, not at all.
Can you explain your reasoning on that?
How do I personally gain from claiming that I'm a lawyer if I'm not a lawyer? That's a crazy statement.
No more questions.
All right, plaintiff, do you have any redirect?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, feel free to proceed.
So, just to clarify, were you ever detained at Al Wahim's traffic stop?
The only time that I was properly detained by Corporal Ty Ryder was the third time that he attempted to pull us over, which was this time on San Andreas Avenue, and he ordered me out of the vehicle under Pennsylvania versus MIMS, which does have a a little section on it which states that passengers are detained in a traffic stop. So that was the first time that I was detained unlawfully, I'll add.
And when you were told to leave the scene, did you leave it?
Yes, I did.
Were you trying to deceive anyone this day?
No, not at all. And if the state were trying to prosecute me under fraud for being a lawyer, that would be a violation of my 14th Amendment rights.
That is all, Your Honor.
All right. Counselor Strickland, do you have any recross based on those 3 questions?
No, Your Honor, we can move on.
Okay, are you marking this witness for recall?
No, Your Honor.
All right, well, you're not free to go, Mr. Wades, because this is your lawsuit, but you're welcome to step down.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'm looking forward to seeing how this one turns out.
Counselor Luna, do you have anything else for your side?
I do not, Your Honor.
Oh, we should probably... Abdul's thing?
Oh, do
I'll
you
be-
want me to read Abdul's thing now? Or
No, I'll touch on it since it's on my end. So you also called Corporal Ty Ryder. Do you not plan on calling him?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. So we have a sworn, signed, notarized affidavit and statement from Mr. Abdul Al-Wahim. I'll read that for the court's record. States, I, Abdul, was in a traffic stop on Alta Street. I believe Trooper Ty Ryder was on the scene, and I was being asked questions and asked my lawyer to come. Mr. Wades has arrived on the scene and presented himself as my lawyer, which he is. And the troopers have asked him to leave the scene. At the end of the traffic stop, when I was told that I am free to leave, Mr. Wades gets in the taxi and we drive off northbound towards the traffic signal. Once we stopped on the red lights, Trooper Ty gets behind us and turns his lights on to pull me over. Oh, sorry, turns on his lights to pull me over. I pulled over on San Andreas westbound under the bridge exit next to Arcadius building. Trooper Ty approaches on the passenger side and ordered my lawyer, Mr. Wades, to get out of the vehicle. Mr. Wades obliged. Trooper Ty ordered Mr. Wades to show his ID, which I found weird as I have never seen something like this happen before to my taxi passengers unless they were state wanted and matched the description of a criminal. The end. That was him putting the end, not me. The end. That is the end of the statement, though. Councilor Luna, did you want to point anything out in this statement, and then I'll give it over to Councilor Cirker.
I just want to point out that it falls in line with my witness's testimony.
All right, Councilor Cirker.
I mean, it's there. Too bad I can't ask him questions, but you know, it's there.
You're welcome to point out any. All right, that's up to you. Okay. All right. Well, do you have any other evidence you'd like to highlight, or do you rest at this time, Councilor Luna?
We rest.
Perfect. Speedy, quick, easy. All right, defense, your case. You're welcome to call your client or highlight any of the evidence that.
Just to call Trooper Ryder up to the stand.
Sure. Go ahead, Corporal. I'll swear you in. Is there anything you'd like to swear on today?
It's your honor's choice.
Oh, okay. You should raise your hand for me, please. Do you swear in the affirmative testimony you'll be giving today is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, under the pains and penalties of perjury and never being able to have shiny shoes again? So help you. You know when it's like really hot in the summer, but your pillow is like just slightly cold and you're able to fall asleep really fast and you appreciate it the next day? Yes. Yeah, you're swearing on that.
I do, Your Honor.
Perfect. All right, Counselor Stroker, it's your witness.
Hello, Trooper Ryder.
Handy duty.
At the time of the incident, what was your rank and occupation?
I was a corporal for the San Andreas State Police.
Trooper, who was conducting a traffic stop that day?
It would be a solo cadet, Patty Murphy.
Okay. Why did you show up at the traffic stop?
So along with my role as a corporal, I was also an FTI, which is a field training instructor. And part of my job is to observe cadets in the field, especially solo cadets.
Sure.
I heard that Cadet Patty Murphy was conducting a traffic stop, and I wanted to observe him during his traffic stop.
During your observations, what occurred?
Cadet Patty Murphy was conducting his traffic stop and didn't see anything out of the ordinary until a gentleman approached the traffic stop from, we were on Alta Street, and he approached from north, walking south, and started asking what we were doing on the traffic stop.
Did you ever see this man before?
Which man are you
I'm
referring
speaking
to?
of the plaintiff.
No, never before.
Have you ever heard of him?
No, sir.
Ooh, I'm gonna put that in 48-point font in my transcript. Wade's got hooed. Deserved. Please proceed.
When this man approached the traffic stop, did you say anything to him?
I told him to back away from the traffic stop.
And what did he say in response?
He said that he would not back away, that he is Mr. Abdul's lawyer and wanted to make sure that his rights aren't being violated.
Are traffic stops considered active police investigations?
Affirm they are.
And did the plaintiff actually back away?
After three or four attempts to ask him to back away, he finally did.
Okay. Were you so you were conducting the traffic stop? Was Abdul Al-Wahim told he was free to go?
Yes, he was.
Okay. After he was told he was free to go, what were you then preparing to do?
To speak with Mr. Wade and identify Mr. Wade and see if he was in fact a lawyer. I was concerned that he was committing a crime at the time.
Okay. Did you get that opportunity?
No, I did not.
What happened?
Mr. Wade. So first, when we told Abdul that he was free to go, there was another trooper on scene, James Fotopoulos. I approached him and said, "Hey, would you back me up? I'm gonna go talk to this guy over here and see if he's actually a lawyer."
I would have
might be
really
committing fraud."
appreciated that statement.
At that, he said, "No problem." I go over to try to approach Mr. Wade, and Mr. Wade at that time had entered Abdul's vehicle. I then told Mr. Wade that I needed him to step out of the vehicle. He was not free to go. Mr. Wade then said that the traffic stop had concluded and told Abdul to drive away.
So the lawyer disregarded your detainment?
Affirm.
Did you have to how did you get into contact with Mr. Wades again?
I ran back to my cruiser and initiated my emergency lights and siren, and Mr. Abdul was stopped at a red light, and I got on my loudspeaker on my car and told him to go through the red light and pull over to the right side of the road.
Did they pull over?
I wish I would have gotten another trooper to come
Paper.
in here and confirm that that was their intention for the
All right,
investigation.
did when you approached the vehicle, what'd you do?
I ordered Mr. Wade out of the vehicle.
How did he respond?
He wasn't very happy about it, but he did eventually comply.
All right. When he stepped out of the vehicle, what did you ask him?
I asked him to show me his state ID or driver's license, any form of identification.
Did he comply?
He only complied once I told him to turn around and put his hands up. I asked him multiple times to do so, and he would not do so until he realized that I was going to place him under arrest for failure to comply with the lawful order at that time.
Okay. Are you required to tell the suspects you're investigating everything about it before moving forward?
No, they're not, which I'm not
Negative.
entertaining that argument.
Okay. What crime did you reasonably suspect Mr. Wade's of committing?
Fraud.
What?
Okay. Based on your experience as a police officer, how can someone claiming to be a lawyer
Is it
be
a felony?
considered fraud?
Well, in this situation,
It's a
there's
misdemeanor.
multiple ways. One, they could get financial gain by
Wrongful
charging
criminal
someone
deception,
for
intended
saying that
assault.
they're a lawyer, and that person has no way to know if that is true or not. They could be kind of distracting officers on a scene
I'm not
during
buying
an
that.
investigation by
I'm not-
approaching and saying
I'm
that,
not
hey, I'm a
bu- I'm not
lawyer
buying
and you
that.
need to
It's
listen
fraud.
to
That's
me
a-
and pay
that's a
attention to me
huge-
while
That's a
someone else
huge
could be
jump.
getting
Obstruction,
away.
sure, but
there's a lot of negative
fraud?
things that can happen from someone, just approaching, claiming that they're a lawyer without any proof of that.
Okay. So interference.
Which is obstruction.
Now,
That's not fraud.
1 second, Your Honor.
Yeah, sure, no worries.
How many times did you have to ask to see his ID?
4 times.
What were the responses you got before you got your ID?
He wanted to see my identification first.
Objection here. Say,
Do you have to provide your ID while you're trying to conduct an investigation at that moment, they ask?
No, I do not.
correct.
When do you usually provide identification?
I identify my identification when I feel like a scene is secure, when my investigation is stopped, and then if they, have any comment, question, concern, or want to see my badge or my ID, I go ahead and do that.
Besides asking for your ID, what other statements do you make?
He made a slew of statements, things like, I don't have to do that, show me your ID.
Objection, hearsay.
Your Honor, he's standing right here and the plaintiff's right behind me.
I don't need a rebuttal, Counselor Luna. Yes, and Counselor Stroker, you could have called him as a witness or recalled him, which I gave you an opportunity to do twice. Sustained.
Yeah,
Move on.
All right. When he got your ID, what did you find out?
I looked up.
Vague.
Corporal Trooper Ryder, do you understand the question?
I do.
Perfect. Overruled. Answer the question, please, sir.
I pulled up my MDT, looked up his information, and found out that he is bar certified.
Did that quench your reasonable suspicion as far as him committing fraud?
A firm at that point in time, I realized that he was not in commission of a crime which I thought was fraud.
Again, did you ever meet the plaintiff before
No.
this?
No.
Do you take people claiming to be lawyers at face value?
I do not.
No more questions.
Thank you so much, Counselor. Counselor Luna, you may proceed with your cross.
Thank you. All right. Mr. Ryder, you were speaking in past tense. Are you still a trooper?
Objection, relevance.
I'm not inclined to agree, but Counselor Luna, how do you believe this question is relevant?
Well, if he is speaking as an expert in law, I think it's relevant to know why he may or may not be a trooper and if that holds up, Your Honor.
Stroker rebuttal?
It's outside of scope as well. This should be about the incident that has occurred. His current employment history has nothing to do with the facts that happened on that case.
It's definitely within scope. You asked him what his employment was at the time, and she's further elaborating from the direct testimony. I'm going to overrule Counselor Luna, keep it short. I don't, unless it's egregious, which you didn't present any evidence, I don't really care about his employment history. Keep it short, 1 or 2 questions.
Okay, did he answer it?
Nope. You may feel free to ask the question.
Are you still a trooper?
I am not.
Why not?
Objection, relevance.
Overruled. I gave her 2 questions.
Damn it.
Why
I have
are you no
a-
longer a trooper?
I have a pending criminal case.
Okay, and you were an FTO?
An FTI.
FTI, my apologies. What's the difference between an FTI and an FTO?
So an FTO, basically an FTI is a step above an FTO. We do a little bit more. We will shadow other FTOs. We will conduct final evaluations on cadets or probie troopers. We also do the onboarding for cadets out of academy. So there's a few more responsibilities an FTI has over an FTO.
Thank you. Are you in charge of teaching your cadets civil rights?
I don't understand the question. Sorry.
What?
It's okay. Are you in charge of teaching them like about the amendments?
Yes,
Okay. Do you know what the Fourth Amendment is?
I do.
What is it?
I'm sorry. I'm having trouble hearing you. Can you speak up a little bit?
Yes, sorry, I wasn't speaking loudly enough. What is it?
The Fourth Amendment protects against illegal searches and seizures.
All right, thank you. Were you the one that initiated the traffic stop with Mr. Al-Wahim the first time?
No.
When did you arrive on this scene?
I was the 3rd unit on scene. I'm not sure how long after the call over radio came that I arrived.
Okay, and you are the one who told Mr. Wades to back away?
It was a collection of me and the other troopers on scene, but I was the main one to tell him to back away, yes.
Okay, and did he comply with backing away?
Eventually.
Okay. Was Wades part of Al-Wahim's detainment?
No.
Did you or another trooper tell Al-Wahim that he was free to go?
Yes.
Okay, so why would it matter if my client also told him he was free to go?
Because your client was inside of he had positioned from outside the vehicle to inside the vehicle.
Okay, was he free to go?
Was who free to go?
Al-Wahim.
Yes, he was.
Okay. After Al-Wahim's traffic stop,
I was hoping the trooper
after
could give
he
me
said he was
something.
free to go, where did you go?
Okay.
I went to talk to Trooper Jane Fotopoulos to have him come with me to approach Mr. Wade.
Okay, so where was that trooper?
Right behind me, standing on the sidewalk.
So none of you entered into your vehicles after Elohim was told he could go.
I don't recall for Cadet Patty Murphy, but myself and Fotopoulos had not re-entered our cruisers at that time.
Okay. If you were planning on speaking with Wade's, why did you and every other trooper walk the opposite direction from him?
Objection, misstatement of testimony.
I can confirm that. Hold on. Stroker, if you could clarify why you believe this is a misstatement of testimony, look at the records.
Look at the what?
While you tell me why you believe it's a misstatement of testimony, I will look through my records.
Oh, okay. He did not state at all that he was walking towards his vehicles or getting into his vehicles, and this I don't know where this testimony is coming from. He clearly said that he was approaching his fellow trooper to ask him to back him up, and I don't know where this other testimony is coming from.
Counselor Luna responds.
As they were all behind Mr. Elohim and Mr. Ryder was going back to the trooper to speak with them about whatever the matter was, I can assume that means he's
My roommate brought me my
away.
food.
I deduce.
Okay. I am going to sustain because it's technically a misstatement of his testimony, Counselor Luna. I'm sure you can get there by quoting what you need to quote. Rephrase, please.
Okay. You stated that you went back to, I forget the other trooper's name. He has a really long name, or she.
Jane Fotopoulos.
Yes. You said you went back to talk with him?
Yeah, I turned around. He was, I don't know, maybe 10 feet behind me.
Okay, was this towards or away from Mr. Wade's?
Away from Mr. Wade.
There you go.
All right. So, if you were planning on speaking with Mr. Wade's, why did you and every other trooper walk away from him?
Good job, Luna. That's a really good praise.
Objection. They were misstatement of testimony again.
Could you restate your question, Counselor Luna?
Yes, if you were planning on speaking with Mr. Wade's, why did you and every other trooper walk away from him?
Counselor Cirker, how is that misstatement?
Because they were walking away from the Mr. Abdul Al-Wahim's vehicle. Just because he walked north of the vehicle stop doesn't mean that they were attempting to leave the scene.
I think it's more. I think the counselor is being more argumentative as she's allowed to do a cross. I see where you're going with this, Stroker, and I'm marking it down in my transcript for deliberation. But I'm going to overrule at this time.
Can you answer the question, Mr. Ryder?
So I don't think James was walking away because he was facing me when I turned around. I didn't have to like tell him to stop. I just walked up to him to tell him to come back me up. So I was walking away, I guess, to make sure I had backup because Mr. Wade was uncompliant for a majority of our traffic stop with Mr.
I see. I can reasonably see. I can
Okay,
see
so
that
you walked away from
response. From like they like wanted to complete the traffic
Objection,
stop.
argumentative.
She's allowed to. It's on cross. Overruled. Please
Right,
continue.
right.
Can you please answer?
Can you repeat the question one more time?
But you walked away from him.
Yes.
Why didn't you tell Mr. Wade's to actually, did you tell Mr. Wade's to wait?
Mr. Wade was a good distance away from when,
Okay.
when we
Yes
told.
or no question.
Mr.
Okay,
Wades
ask it one
was
more
a
time then.
good distance
Did you
away.
tell Mr. Wade's to wait?
At what time? I'm not understanding. When did I Yeah, I'm still not understanding the question.
At
sorry.
any time during this, did you tell him to wait where he was? For you.
No.
But your intention was to investigate him.
Correct.
So how was my client supposed to know that you wanted to investigate him?
Because when he got back into Abdul's car, I told him to exit the vehicle.
No, this is beforehand, though. Before he got into the vehicle, how was my client supposed to know he was being investigated?
He wouldn't.
Oh! Fuck!
Why did you want to see Mr. Wade's ID?
Because I thought he was committing fraud.
What made you think he was committing fraud?
Objection asked and answered.
Sustained. Nim, is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
Could you open me a Kanban board for this, please?
Absolutely.
I give you cupcake. Thank you.
Is being a lawyer criminal?
Are you
Mr. Wade's.
the counsel testifying, or is the fucking plaintiff testifying?
It's not on the record. Mr. Wade's.
I thought I was whispering. My apologies.
No, you just yelled it across the court. Okay. Mr. Wade's.
I'll keep my lips sealed.
Do not backseat lawyer. You are a plaintiff here. You hired a counselor for a reason. Actually, you know what? No, I am going to put that on record because you're asking for attorney's fees.
Am I good?
Yeah, no, go ahead.
Okay.
This is where Wade's
Why
was
did you ask
backseat
Mr.
lawyering.
Did I already ask that? No, I'm confused. Why did you tell Mr. Wade to turn around and put his hands up?
He was refusing to identify himself.
Did he comply?
Once I told him to put his hands up, yes.
What do you need to be able to tell someone to identify themselves?
Just a moment. We're going to go into a 3-minute recess here. Counselor Stroker passed out.
Oh.
Can someone get him, like, Med or, like, a pill to wake him up?
I'm on it, Your Honor.
Perfect. Thank you. We'll go into a 3-minute recess.
Hey, Wade, you're doing great.
Thanks, Lynn is doing great.
I'll give him a fair
Well-
chance to kind of summon him back. What?
They were asking for attorney's fees. There's no I don't think there's a necessary investigation. I don't think they added it.
Oh, no, not for the... I'm done.
No, you're not dumb. This is a civil case, so.
Oh, there he is.
Shit.
My-
What'd I
my
miss? What'd I
summoning-
miss?
Nothing. You missed nothing. The summoning ritual worked.
He summoned him.
Thank you, Mark.
No problem.
You
buddy.
did well.
Mr. Stroker, do you need like a glycerine pill or a cupcake or something?
No, I think I'm good. Just, whew, I don't know what happened there. I had a stroke.
Ha ha. Wake up.
I think, I'll be honest, I think a few other people might have had strokes in here too.
Do we need TACMed for you guys? Is anyone playing like techno music at a range that only like Gen A can hear? No.
Wait, what's
No,
going
no,
on?
Your Honor.
I'm confused, Your Honor.
I hear-
Really loud explosions.
Some amazing bass, though. That's a crazy bass.
Yeah,
sound
we're
effect.
safe. We're safe in here. Remember, the doors are unlocked. It's not a fire hazard. All right, Councilor Luna, you're good to proceed. We'll re-enter order here.
Yeah, one moment, Your Honor. Okay, I think I left off with why did you tell him to turn around and put his hands up?
What's that?
Why did you...
Why
tell him
did
to
you
turn
ask
around?
him to put his hands up? And the answer I have is because he refused to identify himself.
Okay, thank you. And to be clear, you wanted to investigate him for fraud?
Correct.
What was the fraud he was committing?
Claiming to be a lawyer.
Is that fraud?
Objection, argumentative.
It's on cross, a short leash,
Oh,
counselor.
God damn it. I'm sorry.
Overruled short leash.
Yeah.
Okay, that's news to me. What financial gain did you see Mr. Wade's receive?
At that time, none.
How are you sure he was personally gaining from this traffic stop?
A lot of lawyers receive fees for their services to clients, and I had no way of knowing if he was actually a lawyer and that if he could charge a client for attorney fees.
So you were basing all this off of what then?
Him approaching a traffic stop, interjecting himself as a lawyer.
Okay. Is it criminal to be a lawyer?
No.
How is acting as someone's lawyer criminal then?
It would be
this
criminal
guy
if he
needed
was
prepped.
not a lawyer. So I wanted to confirm if he was a lawyer, just like I do any other time that a lawyer is called down to a cell where someone is requesting a lawyer. I verify that they're a lawyer through the MDT.
Okay, so you think it's criminal? I'm sorry, I didn't follow that. What is the 14th Amendment?
Due process.
Why did you violate Mr. Wade's 14th Amendment?
Objection. Counsel is testifying.
How's this testifying, counselor?
They're stating that he apparently violated his 14th Amendment.
Rebuttal, counselor.
I mean, he's saying that he knows what the 14th Amendment is, so I would hope he knows how he broke the 14th Amendment or violated it.
I see where you're going with this, Counselor Stricker. I'm going to overrule because she's just being exceptionally argumentative, Counselor Luna. I get where you're coming from. You've driven the point ad nauseum. Let's try to move to a different line of question. But
Sure.
he may answer the question if you would like. Just wrap it
I
up.
would like to hear it, yeah.
I don't think I was violating his 14th Amendment.
Yep, that's what I wanted to hear.
When you pulled Mr. Al-Wahim over the second time, were
not his
any
fault.
traffic laws being violated?
It's his trainer's fault.
No.
Do you know that without reasonable suspicion or PC that a traffic law has been broken, you cannot detain a car in a traffic stop?
I do.
So, if Mr. Al-Wahim didn't break any traffic laws, why did you pull him over?
Because he had a suspect that was under investigation.
Yeah,
he could
that's
avoid.
fine. If it wasn't
Was
for
he
fraud,
a suspect at this time?
if it wasn't for
Mr.
fraud, I
Wade
would
was.
believe that.
Objection. Vague.
He answered the question. It's not vague to him. Just because you don't necessarily have the line of questioning there, Counselor Stricker, doesn't mean the witness does, which is the vague objection. Overruled. Please proceed.
Did you order Mr. Wade's out of the car?
I did.
If he would have said anything like
Without
obstruction,
him being legally detained?
I would believe him.
He was.
Objection. Is that counsel coaching?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. What's going on?
The Counsel is testifying. The traffic stop is technically a detainment.
Yes. Sorry,
What
Your
was the question again? Just so I have it.
I asked him, did you order Mr. Wade's out of the car and then without him being legally detained?
I'm just going to object from the bench. You're driving this whole ad nauseum, counselor. I get it. If you have any other lines of questioning, please feel free to ask them. Otherwise, move on.
I don't have any other questions, Your Honor.
All right. Counselor Stroker, do you have any redirect?
Give me a second.
Yeah, no worries. Take your time. Oh, I really want to hear their closing, what they're going to wrap up, if they're going to reference anything. Because at this point, liability lies on SASP. Like, that's such a leap and bound. I don't think a reasonable officer will consider it fraud. Obstruction? Sure. But fraud? I don't think a reasonable officer would necessarily go that direction. Okay, perfect. What were you saying, counselor?
Defense will rest after this.
Okay, perfect. Mr. Ryder, you're welcome to step down.
Thank you, Your Honor.
No worries. All right, do either party need to prepare their closings?
About 5 minutes.
I'm okay with that, Your Honor.
Okay, we will proceed at 5 after. Until then, we are in recess. Oh boy, howdy. I'll send you a link to my transcript.
Please do. I might just make like a default one for everyone to copy.
I would love that, actually. That'd be great.
So send me what you got, and I'll try to make a form or something. Gosh.
Okay. Nim.
What was it again? Oh yeah.
Nim Shaw. There she is. All right.
If I can't do it myself, then I trust Luna to get it done for me. That's right.
It's a good lawyer when it's your lawyer's lawyer.
What's that?
No, it's a good lawyer when it's your lawyer's lawyer.
Yeah, I mean, if I could just clone myself and hire myself.
Oh, so you don't even write out like question answer style.
Can we only defend ourselves? Can you not?
I could technically defend.
Sorry, I'm eating spaghetti.
Yeah, give me 1 sec.
It's better to have someone
Yeah, no worries.
and do a narrative and question yourself.
You know what you could do is go up on the stand and then
Chat, you guys doing okay?
and then ask a question and then go up to the stand and then answer the question.
Yeah,
And then walk back.
goofy looking, and people don't like it.
We'll give them till 6 or so after.
Yeah, I mean, it would be funny, but I don't think the judge would like it.
What's the relief they're asking for again?
The felony that I was never told about, so now I cannot be a lawyer.
Ah, shit. That sucks.
They told
I
me
hate when that happens.
a month after it happened when I went to go vote.
Oh, yeah, classic. Was it
I'll be right back, Your Honor. Gotta find a quiet place.
Yeah, you're good. No worries. We'll extend the... Yeah, no, spaghetti. We'll be doing 10 after, everyone, for recess, just to give Mr. Stroker some time.
Arrested, put in cuffs, and then you, like, kind of walked away from them a little bit?
Hello, you're a judge, correct?
Did you just walk into my well during an active court case? Can I help you?
Oh, it's still active. Yep. And I was apparently I was charged with it
Thank you.
for the warrant,
Wait.
Always get a lawyer, man.
and I was never told. Well, I was never told.
No, I mean,
I
like...
would have fought it if I knew.
Yeah, what's up?
No, the warrant...
I'm just the audacity.
Some people don't know. I'll give them a little bit of leniency. He walked back. It's fine.
He's elderly. It's okay.
Even if it wasn't elderly, I don't really like the first time. It's fine. Anyway, what's up?
No, it's just. So these are your notes from the case?
Normally, I can get a better transcript than that, but they're going really fast, so I wasn't able to get it, and I have to pay attention to both hearing and typing. So if I'm just doing transcript, it's a lot quicker.
I I try so hard. Even when they like slow down, they start just a rapid fire. You know, I'm like, oh, good lord.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, we just rely on memory and try to lean on what's there. You know, it's not like we have someone typing with a full court reporter keyboard that can get like 500 something words a minute. You know.
Yeah, Kuze is like the only one that I know can like fully do it.
I can do it if I'm only doing the transcript. But hearing the content, objections, you know, conflict going back and forth, I can't do all of it.
Anything back, by the way, about the...
Yeah, I heard something today.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure I'm going to award attorney's fees on this.
Yum.
No, because Wade's was backseating his lawyer.
And then the judge went, "Thank you for the notice." And then Bradshaw said,
A lawyer being
A lawyer who represents themselves has a fool for a client is the phrase.
Yeah.
Unless it is something minor.
Yep.
What about from the state? Because there was some from the state too, right?
Right. So yeah, what?
You're not gonna give him the fees because he was backseat.
Yeah, because he should have just prepped with his lawyer. He literally shouted a question.
Yeah.
He's trying to be slick. I'm not awarding that. I want to wait and hear the closing before I actually fully fully make a decision. I want to see what their wrap up is. But it's not looking great.
Like 2 weeks, and then we said, "Yeah, you're not doing your job," and he said, "Okay, then turn around and put your hands up." And I said, "No."
Wait, who said that?
Fuck?
Which cop?
Some sergeant in the BCSO. I don't know.
I'll be interested to hear your thoughts because I've been keeping an eye on this case.
He quote unquote got busy with a call of somebody getting shot at.
I'll explain more in deliberation.
He let you go. Quotation marks.
How have you been? How's your week?
Honestly, pretty good so far.
Yeah?
It feels nice to be back into the rhythm of things.
Yeah, having a
Missed it.
having a full structure. Here's a cupcake. Having a full structure and making sure everything's, you know, fairly running smooth. It's always really, really good. So
I missed it.
yeah. What were you on like a vacation hiatus, LOA?
I was helping, well, technically in LOA, I was helping my folks move, and I'm still helping them unbox and stuff, and helping, you know, helping someone get used to their new school district, so it's been a lot. It's a lot of new changes, and there's a lot of stuff you have to do when you move, so it's kept me pretty busy, and even though I'm off LOA, I'm still not at like 100% capacity. I used to be around all the time, and now I'm kind of having to focus on getting back on track.
How rough is it to get back on track?
Where's Striker gone?
Just
Oh, hi, Blake.
it's a new area and everything.
I
And
think he
it's
stepped out for a moment.
creating accommodations for that little
she
one in the school
extended it.
district,
Oh,
and
she did?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, okay.
potentially looking for a job in Liberty, you know, so it's kind of scary.
Perseverance.
Damn, I heard that, Blake.
Yes.
You little diva.
Like, Blake, how could you?
All right. Are we ready to proceed, plaintiff?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Counsel Luna, you may proceed with your closing statement and highlight of evidence.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, people of the court, I'm going to keep this simple. As you heard it here today, my client had his Fourth Amendment rights violated twice, and his 14th Amendment rights violated as well. Mr. Al-Wahim had his Fourth Amendment rights violated once too. Crazy, right? They were both unlawfully detained, and Wades was forced to produce an ID for no other reason than needing to check if he was a lawyer or not. This, Your Honor, is not a lawful order. You can't just make a person identify themselves for no reason aside from, I wanted to check if he was a lawyer. There is no
Correct,
law
but it's not a
anywhere
stop
that
ID
says someone
state.
can't say that they are a lawyer. And there's no law anywhere that says a lawyer has to ID themselves. There's not even a law to stop people from practicing law without their bar, if we must point out. And fraud does not fit the bill either, Your Honor. As you heard Mr. Ryder state himself today, he didn't know if Wades was deceiving anyone to result in personal or financial gain. He said that neither of those things happened. And if he was investigating Mr. Wades, why didn't he simply tell him to sit down and hang tight so they could question him? Mr. Wades is supposed to read minds and guess that troopers walking away from him after a traffic stop want to question him for anything? Mr. Wades might be spicy sometimes, but he's a lawyer, and we are spicy creatures, Your Honor. Ultimately, he complied with everything he was told to do, spicily. So with all of this said, there was absolutely no reason at all for Mr. Ryder to have given this quote-unquote lawful order, except to ride his power trip to get Mr. Wades to bend the knee and produce his ID. Well, Mr. Ryder, I hope that felt good for you at the moment. I hope you enjoyed flexing your tiny little trooper muscles as you tried to pull one over on someone who ultimately knew the law better than you. In summary, there was no lawful detention when Mr. Wades was ordered out of the taxi, and no lawful order given when Mr. Wades was told to show his ID. No legal detention means everything
Jesus,
said
that
and
was
done
spicy.
in that detention
I'm tempted to
was
strike
unlawful. Unlawful. We know that Mr. Ryder isn't going to be arrested for this, but we are happy to punish him in the way that is our God-given right as Americans, litigation. And, Your Honor, we litigated the shit out of this today. Thank you.
Oh, God bless America. All right. Counselor Stroker, you may proceed.
Your Honor, the plaintiff has knowingly and intentionally interfered with an active police investigation when he arrived at that scene.
I agree.
When Mr. Al-Wahim gave him a call. When the troopers were trying to handle the traffic stop, he instead got in there and demanded, "Hey, I'm a lawyer. Please leave my client alone." When told to back away from the scene, Ty Ryder himself said that the plaintiff resisted the attempt 3 times before he finally complied. When the troopers were done with their active police investigation, they attempted to begin their investigation of the potential fraud that Mr. Wades may have committed due to his actions on scene. But before they can begin questioning Mr. Wades, he instead hopped into Mr. Al-Wahim's vehicle and they sped off. The plaintiff is claiming the only way to be pulled over is by committing a traffic infraction, but that is plainly not true. You could be suspected of any crime, and the only way to, if you're in a vehicle driving around, they have to stop you somehow. The officer had a good faith, reasonable suspicion that Mr. Wades may have been committing fraud by claiming to be a lawyer on scene in order to interfere with the police investigation on his supposed client. Claiming to be a lawyer has a multitude of personal and financial gains available to it. You can bill people for services that you may not render when they actually need it. You can possibly help your friends get out of trouble by claiming to be a lawyer. You could do multiple things when you claim to be a lawyer, and a lot of them can be considered fraud. Your Honor, the officer was just attempting to do his lawful duties as a police officer, and in my personal opinion, I think he did right. Mr. Wades, with his actions during that day, would make me even consider whether he was a lawyer or not. Because there were many things that he should have known they could do that he just did not comply with. That is all, Your Honor.
All right. What I thought was going to be a fairly simple deliberation has turned not into something simple. I am going to be stepping away at this time for a full deliberation. If I think it's going to be longer than 15 minutes, I'll have Ms. Shaw come out and advise. And until then, who's the lady with the cat ears?
The one in the orange shirt? Or
No, the one with the
here?
white hair and the cat ears.
Oh, those are flowers.
Let's
Your
hear
Honor.
Oh, they're flowers? Oh, yeah, you're in charge until I get back.
Nice.
Don't abuse the power, I'll give you contempt. Thank you. Alright, so if you've been watching this case, I want to hear your thoughts before I tell you what I've been thinking.
I don't think I saw enough of it to be able to properly judge.
Okay. Well, tell me your thoughts anyway.
Well, it looks like he kind of stepped in on an active stop to produce that he was a lawyer, and I don't know if lawyers are given any leeway on like actual scene, if he can just immediately intervene like that.
No. No.
Okay, that's why I figured.
Absolutely not. No, what he was doing was obstruction. He should have been arrested and charged for obstruction.
Yeah, that's kind of my thought on it. Asking for legal fees, I feel like he could have just, I don't know, made any number, especially since he was coaching from, you know, the bench. I don't know, it just feels weird to me. Just their whole kind of attitude just feels kind of poor. But I know attitude doesn't construct the verdicts.
It does for civil cases. Because they're allowed to bring in character witnesses and things. Keep in mind, their burden of proof is the preponderance of evidence. They have to prove 51% or higher in a civil case that they were the ones, or the other, one side was more liable than the other.
Yeah.
It's a contributory negligence is the legal term, but that's kind of high for most people. Basically, they have to prove that the other side was more contributing to the situation than the other. Kind of like a rear end, right? Like the person who rear ends the other person, like most of the time the person doing the rear ending is going to be at fault, but did the other person brake check them? Did they have shoddy brakes? Is this multiple times where they're trying to follow through? Did they swerve? Stuff like that. It's contributing factors to the case.
Yeah.
So regarding this is what we have, right? Baseline, Abdul calls his lawyer, states, I'm in traffic stop. Abdul gets pulled over a lot because he drives and doesn't have a license. They give him a traffic ticket. Or they want to give him a traffic ticket. There's a couple cops at the stop, right?
Yeah.
Wade's probably sped over there, parked farther away, and you can see that in the pictures and evidence. And then approached trying to, they said flex the trooper's muscles, flex his lawyer muscles, and go, I'm a lawyer, I can do this. No, Mr. Wades, you can't. That's obstruction. I believe the officer based on just so I don't know Mr. Wades, and I cannot, even if I were to know Mr. Wades, I cannot, in good conscience, take any outside forces or outside opinion to weigh in on this. What I can do is look at his behavior in court and what he was saying. In his testimony, he was exceptionally pedantic. There was no objection for him being established as an expert witness, so he went ahead and just continued to blab on about the law and how he thought the cop was wrong, blah, blah, blah. And then he proceeded to essentially backseat his lawyer from what I heard. How many times through the rest of the case did he backseat his lawyer? That kind of leans into the character of the plaintiff. Which is why I kept on the record, because he's asking for $25,000 in lawyer fees, which I think is extremely abhorrent. That is beyond reasonable for something like this. So that being said, I believe the trooper when he says I had to tell Wades multiple times, because it continued to be multiple times, because Wades even admitted himself under his own testimony. He stated multiple times, I want to see your identification before getting his own. The problem is where liability lies, and I don't think I know it's not with the trooper, it's a training with the SASP. Fraud is a leap and bound when it comes to like any reasonable officer doing anything. So we don't have qualified immunity like codified, which means in law in the state of San Andreas. We can take it as it's Harlow versus Fitzgerald, 1982 is a Supreme Court case. So essentially, we can take it as persuasive authority, which is kind of what I'm leaning on when it comes to reasonable officers. You have two prongs, which is like the fact that the plaintiff, it amounts to a constitutional violation. And if it's a constitutional violation, how was it mishandled? I don't think a reasonable officer would arrest an attorney for fraud at a traffic stop. I think that's leap and bounds in logic. I think he was upset that the guy came over and was trying to find essentially the biggest charge to charge the guy with. He was fired and is being, I don't care what the criminal charge is. He was fired and pending criminal charges. Don't really care. Unless it's like some major level of corruption, which wasn't established in the case. And I'm not looking it up because they didn't highlight anything.
Did Wade's go to trial?
No, he wasn't arrested. So what had happened was what I believe happened based on what has been given to me in the evidence presented. Wade's walked up, obstructed justice temporarily, and the officer said to go away. What should have happened was the officer arrest him, have one of the other processing officers handle the situation, charge him for obstruction, throw him in the back of a cruiser for the safety of himself and the other officers, and then give the ticket to Al-Wahim. That's what should have happened. But instead, the officer said, get away from here, back up and say, hey, I also want to do this thing. And I get it. I don't think the fault lies in Ryder. I think he was poorly trained. So I'm going to assert qualified immunity for Ryder. But when it comes to SASP, I absolutely find them liable for the situation, considering there were two officers on scene, one that was solo qualified, which I'm assuming is basically an officer but not a full officer, like a quasi-cadet thing, which wasn't fully established, just based on the nature of the language. Now it comes down to damages. Because the 112,000 is ridiculous.
Asking for 50,000 from both?
Yeah, that's not happening.
It's crazy.
Okay, so I'm asserting that qualified immunity is placed on Corporal Ryder, especially with him being such a high rank that has clearly something to do with the San Andreas State Police. I'm going to grant civil filing fee because this shouldn't have happened. And so now we're left with how much legal fees and how much punitive damages. I mean, that 25,000 is ridiculous for legal fees. I'm going to half that and then half it again. I'm going to half that for reasonable attorney fees. So let's say 13 grand, just round it up, and then half of that is 6.5. I'm going to grant 6.5 for attorney's fees because he was doing the work too. So now comes damages when it comes to how the SASP trains.
How do you put a figure on that?
You think about what's reasonable, what happened, what should be punished, stuff like that. He was a trainer plus. That was kind of the problem. But someone in his training thought he was qualified enough to go ahead and train everyone else, and that's kind of where Sparks is going down. I don't think 50 is reasonable. I think there should be punitive action. But the thing is, you have to consider how punitive this particular situation was. Honestly, I think it was a minor inconvenience at best, but I do agree that it was not a violation of his, like, he had a complete reasonable to stop, so.
Yeah. Trying to figure out damages, you know, how much he was inconvenienced by the...
I think your phone just went off. I heard an eagle. I think I'm going to grant punitive damages for equal amount for the legal fees and civil filing fees, so 8,500, and it's all just going to be required to be paid out of the SASP budget. Yeah. I think it was a minor inconvenience. I like the litigation. I don't know. I don't think that's enough. Because I don't know what other violations are going out there, but they didn't establish that, so I can't reasonably just be, like, taking outside sources. I have to be...
Round it to 10?
Yeah. What's going on? Why are the people fighting in my courtroom?
accident, Your Honor.
We held it down.
Muscle
Your Honor.
reflex.
Peanut gallery's getting wild, Your Honor.
He stood up and slipped, Your Honor. It was an accident.
Yeah, he slipped.
Can anyone determine that it was on purpose?
No, ma'am.
It was a slip.
It wasn't.
All right, perfect. Behave. Tell me you're in charge. Taking the other one is bad decision. Stop fighting. That's the problem, right? Is like, Yeah, I think I'm just gonna round up to 10. I don't think the fault lies in the officer. I don't think the fault lies in the officer. I think it falls in the training of the officer who allowed them to be there at that particular position. Why are they doing leaps and bounds of judgment when it comes to fraud? Like, I understand it's a misdemeanor, but it's thousands of dollars compared to the specific pricing. Yeah, fraud is 10 months and $3,300. Obstruction. Oh wow, that's actually. Why is that more? What? It's 2,615 months. Obstruction is still the right charge, but that's stupid. Yeah, I don't think a reasonable officer would consider that fraud. That was obstruction, and he should have made note of it. They also shouldn't have turned off the lights, but that's all procedural shit. Okay, so I'm gonna award 10,000 for 10,000 for punitive damages for SASP, 6,500 for halved, and then civil fees for 2,000. What are your thoughts?
I wholeheartedly agree. It does sound like a training issue rather than solely on Tyrider. The legal fees just sound blown out of proportion, especially when I hear, you know, general normal fees.
It's not a felony. It's a misdemeanor.
It just feels like that was kind of blown out of proportion.
It's a misdemeanor.
She's just
Felony fraud for business or institution is a felony.
For some reason, or there's some funny business, but you know, there's no proof of that, so I'm glad you can change that to fit what you believe to be true.
Okay. All right. Let them know I'll be like 10 minutes or less. I'm gonna write my verdict. I'll go out there and read it. Thank you. I appreciate you. I help Nim because I want to help everybody, and that's kind of like part of the reason why I want to like do judge stuff on Purple. Is so that one, we can show lawyers how to read the room, make it a little bit more fun and better, make it a little bit healthier environment concerning lawyers coming in and feeling more welcome and like they want to pursue like DOJ roleplay. And then also I enjoy this because I don't have to actually do my real job in roleplay. Perfect. Love that. I'm not going to tell you, I'm not going to read off my verdict, though I'm pretty sure you guys know where I'm coming from. I think everyone deserves a chance to learn because it's not like law is an easy subject. There's always more. Correct.
it's a curse position. Charging a lot for cell reps is pretty cringe.
I'm still typing, chat.
Can't prosecute a dead man. Goddamn right.
All right.
Ooh, here we go.
Plaintiff, are you ready to proceed with the... Who's... Phone silence, please. Thank you.
I am, Your Honor.
You ready to proceed? Mr. Wades, are you ready to proceed?
Wait.
Everyone just stare at him really awkwardly until he pays attention.
Gonna like point at him. Yeah, we should all
Just
point at
shame him. Shame him.
Shame. Shame.
Sorry, I'm sorry, I'm
Shame.
sorry.
You're about to be
Shame.
so ready.
Shame.
Oh my goodness, I'm sorry.
Defense, are you ready?
We are, Your Honor.
This is a lengthy one. I will preface this with that my ruling here today does not establish any specific case law or allow for any suggestion for statutory limitations. I will be bringing this up to the justices and encouraging a specific portion of this, or at least speaking to the governor, because I do believe this is something that is necessary when it comes to law enforcement and how law enforcement procedures proceed. So this ruling is in and of itself just a ruling of this court and not precedent. So we find, in the opinion of Hallow versus Fitzgerald, seen by the U.S. Supreme Court back in '82, notes the following. The doctrine of qualified immunity protects government officials from liability for civil damages insofar as their conduct does not violate clearly established statutory or constitutional rights for which a reasonable person would have known. Qualified immunity balances two important interests: the need to hold public officials accountable when they exercise their power irresponsibly, and the need for a shield for officials away from harassment, distraction, and liability when they perform their duties in a reasonable manner. The protection of qualified immunity applies regardless of whether a government official's error is a mistake of law, mistake of fact, and mistake based on mixed questions of law and fact. So we note the two prongs that the Supreme Court noted in Hollow as such. Number one, whether the facts alleged by the plaintiff in a civil case amount to a constitutional violation. And two, if so, whether the constitutional right was clearly established at the time of the misconduct. And we consider what many circuit courts also have, which is a reasonable person standard, which would an officer in the same situation acting in the same manner act accordingly. So the question that we have presented today here in the court by the plaintiff was QPI breached with the actions of Ty Ryder, and if so, is there anyone liable and who is liable? So that's what we're left with. We have a traffic stop. We look at the facts. We have a traffic stop where Al-Wahim was legally detained. We know that the traffic ticket was given and detainment ended. We know that via testimony was given ad nauseum that Mr. Wade's approached a traffic stop. We know that he was eventually detained again for an investigation. And that is the bare bones. But the issue here presented is much deeper than that. We have a law enforcement officer, a trainer of trainers, here attempting to investigate what this court is going to call an exceptional leap and bounds of logic. Are you kidding me, fraud? At most, with the evidence presented, this was obstruction, which absolutely Mr. Wade's was committing at that time. But to sit here in my courtroom and claim that Mr. Wade's was committing fraud by interrupting a traffic stop was absolutely not the case here. There wasn't even a hint of that presented to even begin a reasonable suspicion, argument, and investigation. Obstruction? Absolutely. Guilty on that part, but we're not here to find you guilty. Wade's, you know better. If you had said that in my court today, Mr. Ryder, if we had someone else here to present their argument, if I even heard another witness stating that there was a presentation, that there was other ways they could have gone it, I wouldn't be finding anyone liable here, because that's the reasonable conclusion a good officer would find. That being said, this was not reasonable. Concerning this matter, I do find in favor of the plaintiff when it comes to the training of the SASP in this matter. But I do not find that Mr. Ryder is personally or professionally liable for the mistakes of the department that allow for troopers to jump by leaps and bounds like Aladdin escaping from that guy with a sword. Also, as an aside, how good is that movie? Like, not the second movie, not Jafar's Revenge or whatever it was, but like the first one? Excellent. Anyway.
So good.
So now we are here to determine the damages for the San Andreas State Police. How to quantify this particular portion, which is the longest that I spent deliberating. I'll make this known here. The attorney fees listed are egregious and exemplary. 25 grand in this matter is, in my opinion, outrageous. I was actually inclined to grant half of that, specifically requested, because I do believe that may have been reasonable for the stakes at hand, but Mr. Wade's decided to backseat a perfectly capable attorney, so we're going to half that again. I'm awarding $6,500 in favor of attorney's fees and $2,000 for the filing fees, but now we're here for punitive damages, and if there are even any. I urge this punitive fine to be a lesson to the San Andreas State Police, the Blaine County Sheriff's Office, the San Andreas State Park Rangers, or any other law enforcement officer or government officials to ensure that training is done correctly, given time, attention, and detail where it comes to be reasonable and considerable. I don't see these cases often on the docket. I have only been a judge for about a month. But I do hope that this is an exception to the rule. But we can only go off of what has been presented by the plaintiffs today. It is, or will not after this case, be a secret that I tend to lean on the side of law enforcement officers and trust that their actions, words, and choices are done with meaning and good faith effort. This, however, as presented, was not reasonable. But it was not exceptional either. This was a minor inconvenience at best for Mr. Wade's, and he continued to make it worse and worse as he goes. We will be ordering $10,000 in punitive damages from the SASP for Mr. Wade's. And I have one last final warning specifically to you, Mr. Wade's, to allow your attorney to do their job in the future. An attorney who represents themselves has a fool for a client. So ordered with the court.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You may approach the bench if you have any questions or specifications. Hey, what's up?
Hey, So did you actually read the attorney agreement between Miss Luna and Mr. Waits that was submitted in evidence?
They didn't highlight it. How much was the attorney
Well,
fees?
it wasn't highlighted, but they. Okay, so here's how the attorney fees were working for them. Let me get this up here. I'm trying to find in my files here.
Actually, Miss Luna, yeah, let's approach, because I had trusted that blanket number was there, so I might be rejecting my specific order on attorney's fees. Let's break that down.
Your Honor, the $25,000 in attorney fees that Miss Luna is asking for is actually not something that she charged her client. That is something that she expects the court for the defendant to pay. She wants the defendants to pay for the attorney fees. But the only thing that I was given by Miss Luna is the only thing that she charged Mr. Waits was a $2,000
I specifically didn't look at that out of character because...
That is not what my contract says.
Okay, where's the contract?
The contract
was that
is
presented?
Posted February 10th. It's within evidence number 1.
February 10th.
She didn't actually charge any fees besides the filing fee to her client.
That's usually how civil suits work, Mr. Stoker.
Okay, hold on. Done with the back and forth. Okay, I don't... But all of you, shut up.
My apologies.
Morgan, did you charge attorney's fees prior to this?
I did not, no.
Perfect. We're redacting the attorney's fees. It's $2,000. There's nothing...
I paid $10,000.
I don't have... Nope, all of you stay here. Do not go. I'm talking. Is there anything in evidence that shows that you paid her a $10,000 retainer?
I do not know what Luna has placed into evidence, but I 100% have evidence that I paid her that money. It was a bank transfer.
Luna, did you post that as evidence? Because I don't see it on the docket.
No, I did not, Your Honor.
Okay, this is the first and last time that I'm going to trust blanketly that you presented the information in good faith. We'll be redacting the attorney's fees, so it'll be $10,000 from the SASP and $2,000 for the filing fee. I'll be exceptionally crucial going forward, Miss Luna, with your cases. Do you understand?
Yes, I guess I'm confused, Your Honor.
Did you not charge any attorney's fees? Because, I mean, you should have presented that if that was there.
So according to the contract and how civil suits are usually done with legal fees, there are 2 options. The first one being if it was settled out of court or if the legal fees weren't given by you.
Paid up front
then
for the
20%
$10,000
would
to be
taken
paid.
from what he won. So if you're not granting me the lawyer fee here, Your Honor, then he would be paying me 20%.
Okay, perfect. He can pay you the 20% of the 10 grand. So Stoker, 12 grand from the SASP.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I'll amend that in
Thank
my
you, Your
ruling.
Honor.
Do you have any other questions?
Yeah, are we going to be expecting this legal fees or nothing on all the civil cases? Because I mean, they have a clause in the contract there that says $25,000 legal fees for civil case if lawyer fees are awarded. Now, that doesn't really necessarily state any damages. It's just a bonus.
I mean, that's up to the contract and that's up to the judge. I'm not going to entertain that. I want proof of legal fees prior, if that's even going to be entertained.
That's what the state wishes to have as well.
And it's going to be on the case-on-case basis. Counselor Luna, I expect you to get your legal fees and get paid up front. Don't work for free.
Okay, I'm just going by how civil suits are usually done. Because that makes the lawyer work harder for her client, right? They're not supposed to pay up front. They're supposed to go to court and then we win and then we get paid from winning.
Why would you do that? Why wouldn't you just get paid for the work beforehand?
That's how most attorneys do that for civil cases, Your Honor.
The video was just dissolved.
I mean, the plaintiff,
Thank you.
Fully does not do it that way.
Thank God.
He really charged up for himself.
Yeah.
Okay, but he's a different person than me. I do it based off of how most attorneys do it because it ensures the attorney is working for her client.
The way that it's written in this contract, it basically might as well say charge the defendant attorney's fees unless if they don't allow it, then I charge you nothing.
10 grand. $2 grand. Get your 20% however you ever wish, Council Luna. That's my final offer. That's my final ruling. I'm not mending it. So 12 grand SASP. Train your people better. Wades, let your lawyer do the lawyering work. Don't backseat.
Sorry, Your Honor, I didn't even realize I was saying it out loud. That's on me.
You spoke with your mouth hole. It was literally in her opening. Mouth hole was in the opening. I have it in my transcript.
I hear you. I hear you.
Okay, are we good?
Thank you,
12
Honor.
grand.
Thank you for your time, Your Honor.
Are we gonna settle that now, Stroker?
Oh, they have 3 weeks to pay it.
3 weeks.
Yeah, go to the SASP with it.
All right, you're gonna note it on my profile.
I'm gonna note it in the ruling.
have to go tell.
Sure, I'll note it in your profile right now.
Thank
W
you. I mean,
judge.
the DA's office likes to not do this. We had a month period.
Sure.
Where we had to chase after it.
Hello.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Hi, Professor.
Thank you for your
Hello.
time and patience.
What did you just tell her about the fees? Because I'm running into that in about 20 minutes too.
She was asking 25 grand for lawyers' fees. Only, it's so much. So I'd like to trust the lawyers, at least in my courtroom, when it comes to like contracts and things. But if they're gonna try to pull the wool over my eyes like they were just doing, I'm just gonna read it a lot more carefully.
What if someone was charging $10,000 for a month?
For a month?
Like you're
like
on,
endless?
Yeah, like so it'd be like $10,000, and for 30 days they're on retainer.
I feel like they should charge more for an entire month, but
Okay, so yeah, I was just thinking because that's where I was at. I was like, if someone's gonna charge 10 or like maybe 15 for like a whole month, that seems reasonable to me. But if it's $25,000 for a single case, like no.
so in her contract it says 25,000 if attorney's fees are awarded. So she's requesting that 25,000 be awarded if she gets it and wins it, or 20% of whatever the actual damages happen to be.
That seems fair. 20% seems fair.
That's-
not the 25K.
That's exactly what happened, and the reason why I didn't award more than what was there is because I gave her, I give her a little bit of rope, if you understand what I mean. So
All right, yeah, no, that seems good. That's probably exactly what I'm gonna do.
I mean, if I were a lawyer, I'd charge 30%. That's like 30 to 35% is like a
50-50
standard.
could even work,
Yeah,
depending.
depends on the case. So I think 25%. If we win, hopefully Peepo Shy is a ridiculous number. So
Yeah. All right, cool. Thank you.
yeah, no worries. Did you all hear my ruling?
I'll let you take this one.
I did not.
Oh, I'm gonna post it. Then.
Hello, just wanted to throw out an announcement here, everybody. Uwu is going to be up for auction at, I think, 5:30 p.m. EST Sunday. It'll be outside of the Uwu establishment. We're going to do just an open auction. Cash only.
Cash only.
Holy crap.
How much
Yeah.
you think it's gonna go for?
Probably 300K.
I
Yeah,
got
that's-
400. I'm good.
Well, now, why did you announce that,
Now
bro?
It's gonna go for more than 400.
Now I know I need 600.
Show up with the cash on hand.
Hey,
Oh God.
let's work together.
Do you guys need me for anything? Do you want me to help with anything? You're good.
Hey, can I
If you
have a
want
chat
to,
with you,
you can,
please,
but we're chill.
Council?
I'll hang
We
out.
have a case. We have a case at 8.
Yeah, no, it's
Yeah, we got a
spicy.
case
It's
today.
so spicy. Yeah, I'm just gonna sit there if you don't
Oh,
mind.
Sparks, sorry. This guy wants to speak with you.
Yeah. No worries. I'll help you guys now.
Yeah, so show up with cash in hand. So I don't know if you need to get bodyguards figured out.
Hey.
Who needed to talk to me? Come over here, please. Hello, Mr. Wades.
Hey, I had a question.
Yeah, go for it.
With your ruling.
What's this case?
So, with Ty Ryder being a field training instructor, i.e. the person the San Andreas State Police
Mhm.
hire to train their field training officers as well as other cadets, how is he not personally held liable?
I believe
He is
I
in
believe the
that trusted
liability
position.
because someone decided they wanted to promote him to a command or not command, a quasi command position, I guess a supervisory position, and then someone decided they wanted to promote him to an FTO, and then someone decided they wanted to promote to an FTI. There's a slew of mistakes that clearly lie specifically within the state in and of itself.
So because it's not his decision to be promoted, but to receive the promotions, it's not really his fault, is what you're saying?
Based on, well, it's not just that, right? That's why it took me a while to deliberate. It's not just the fact that he's promoted, it's also the mistakes that he made. He thought in his hardest of hearts that fraud, which is absolutely fucking insane to jump to in that circumstance, you should have been arrested for obstruction, and damn well, Wades, you know you should have. That being said,
I think I obstructed there.
You stood there and were like, I'm his attorney in the middle of a detainment, dog. You deserve to be arrested and stop.
I talked to the people who were like the secondary officers whilst the primary officer did his thing. I definitely didn't obstruct in any way.
For investigation.
The primary officers just kept doing their thing.
Sure, but
It would have been hard press as far as I was concerned.
It's depending on the articulation, but I guess we'll agree to disagree.
He straight up lied about the amount of times I was asked to leave. I literally, as soon as he asked me once, I walked away. So
Sure.
I don't know why he felt the need to do that.
Sure, but we have to take it. We have to see the forest of the trees. It's the totality of the circumstances, right?
Yeah.
So what is presented by you guys? What is presented by them? He thought in the hardest of hearts, he's like, yeah, I'm gonna arrest this guy for fraud. That seems right. I believe so. And so does the fault lie in him, the one that he just gets heavily promoted into basically an NCO position where he can train other people? Is the fault in him or is it in his training? And I generally believe when it comes to like if he were higher, I would absolutely have fallen it into himself if he was like a sergeant or higher. I'm gonna be real. I just think he made a dumbass decision, which is protected by QPI. That's why the fault lies in SASP.
Sure. So if he was an FTO, I think, that's bad, but if he's the person who's training the FTOs, oh my goodness.
No, I agree, but it was the way he presented it, the tone that he presented it in. He believed in the hardest of hearts he was making a good decision, which means that he wasn't doing it maliciously. He was trying to do what he was basically instructed to do.
Sure. All right. Yeah.
Like I said, it's not a precedental setting thing. It's all the facts of the case wrapped up in one. So
That's fair. I was curious to hear your thoughts on that part specifically.
I don't think QPI was breached for him. I do believe the liability lies specifically in the training in of itself. That was presented anyway. I really, really, really wish they would have called Fotopoulos up there. I was almost seething at the mouth to hear what his testimony would have been. So
it would have been whatever Ty said it was, because that's how they work.
I mean, sure, but you never know. You're a good lawyer. Luna's a good lawyer. I imagine there would have been a really good cross-examination like she did with Ryder.
No, she did great. I mean, I should have been spoke, but also this was her case.
Sure, I imagine that, but you have to be made an example of other attorneys hiring an attorney. I hope you know that, right?
I just feel bad for her. But that's on me.
Does anybody know what this case is about?
Yeah, well.
It's
all right.
Are you seeing this one or someone else?
I'm not overseeing this one. I'm gonna chill up there and listen to it and be there for the spicy conversation, but I'm not overseeing this.
I hear you. All right, well, hey, appreciate you taking the time.
No worries, Mr. Weeds. Looking forward to seeing you in my courtroom.
Of course. Luna, do you want to talk later or now? Or?
He would be good to kind of, if anybody needs it, to oversee that time, because he's the only clerk around really at that time.
What if we do a form that they can turn in that goes into a spreadsheet somewhere, and we can kind of base it off of that?
Do you know how to do that?
Yes.
I would love that.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that external was better.
What'd you guys think? Do you think it was reasonable?
Yes, that's a good idea. Thank you, Nim.
Thank you for the follow, Mr. Megatron. I appreciate you.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts, chat?
Lieutenant Colonel of the SASP.
What?
Yeah, it's a Lieutenant Colonel and a Colonel now. Yeah. So basically,
sure.
So tomorrow is official eviction day. And I've spoken with Kingsley Murphy from the District Attorney's Office. I'm going to try and be around. So basically, there's no eviction notices going up. That was their eviction notice when everybody was notified. So he's got a trooper, and a few other troopers, and some members from the DA's office are going to be around. And any business, I've updated the Kanban. If you guys have a look, I don't know if you did today or not, under the business permits. I updated that. With all the new ones and the let me wait for my Kanban to load the
if anyone tries to stop them too, make sure they get obstruction of justice.
Oh yeah, no, I'll be around. If I'm around,
yeah,
I'll it's gonna be obstruction of justice, and if they continue to do so, then they're gonna get more. But I've updated the both Kanban boards as well with that, so they should be good to go.
Maybe, damn it, obstruction of justice isn't really
very reasonable. You think so?
Fit with that.
Failure to obey a court order, because it was a court order.
Yeah, that works. Yep.
So if you have a look at the business property permits, all the new ones, have been put unapproved. I've sorted that out. Right, I did that this morning. I got on this morning early to. I woke up. Sorry, I woke up this morning early. Early to sort that out.
All right, I'm back. Did you need anything else from me?
And all the property permit evictions are updated
No,
on
we're
the
just talking
old
about
one.
the evictions that are happening tomorrow.
Oh yeah, they're all gone. See ya. Goodbye.
Well,
Bye bye.
I've already set it all up for it with the troopers in the DA's office.
They're gonna go around and demolish everything tomorrow.
Good. Has everybody been done on that Kanban board that needs to be done?
I've updated it with all the new ones. If you have a look on the business permit one.
Can you throw them up on there? Because I'm busy
it's
for
on
the
there.
next few hours.
It's on there. The business property permit surveys.
No. I mean,
approved
like,
ones.
so all of the ones that are on there that you approved are on the docket.
Yeah, and they're on the Kanban board as well.
Okay, so they're in both spots, correct?
So all the approved ones, right? Like Tide and Table, Sage and Stuff, Candy Cove, Adventure Tavern, they're all on the Kanban board under business and property surveys. I did it all this morning. And I'll just keep up to date with it. Any new ones that come in.
Oh, I see what you're doing. So the ones that are approved, you put on the Kanban board too.
I just
So the reason it's on there as well is because that way, if a DA needs to access it or someone needs to access it quickly, it's there and they can find it rather than having to go through anyone.
So nobody's on. I just want to make sure nobody's on the Kanban board hasn't been brought over to the government website for approval, correct?
Yeah, so anybody
Everything's been moved. All right, perfect.
Everything's been moved, right? So all the ones that are being evicted are under the property permit evictions. Anyone who's not getting evicted is under the business and property survey, or I've moved them to not denied eviction on the property permits. I'll be around tomorrow to handle it anyway and oversee the whole thing with them.
All right.
Okay, perfect.
I have one more question.
Yes, ma'am.
With the spreadsheet, do we want to just have a list for a judge to then go through like every Friday and go to the bank and just transfer based on their state number?
I think they're writing a check, right? We're writing them a check.
We're gonna be doing
but that
physical
means
checks.
that someone has to physically be here to collect it on the day that it's being paid out. Otherwise, it's going to cause a lapse and people are going to be missing it. Why don't we just directly transfer it to them or make it so a clerk can? I have access to it.
I'm very fine with that.
If you want me to, at the end of the week, look at all the SSNs and see what they're asking for and confirm it, then I can just transfer from the DOJ.
I don't want to overload you with that though.
I'm fine with that if you were willing to.
I think it's better the checks.
All right. Should we? So instead of once a week, do you think we should do it like twice, maybe Wednesday and Sundays, so middle of the week and end of the week?
When does it work best for you then, Nim?
Oh shit! I just want them to submit one form though.
Yeah, let's just do it once a week. Everybody else in the world gets paid at every other week. They can deal with once a week.
Yeah, you're right.
They're gonna have to figure it out.
They're not foreclosed from getting other payment options. This
No,
is
they're
just
not,
like
yeah.
a state option.
I mean, a judge can do this too, but I think like having a tally of who's getting paid how much, so that they can go to the bank and just quickly shoot off transfers is going to be easier.
That sounds good. Yep.
Okay.
And then make sure on there you have like a thing where it just says like paid out by blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to do like you know, like you're saying, like maybe like check them off, like get all the lawyers' names and then check them off if we pay them out, and then sign it whoever pays them out.
All right, perfect.
Yeah, makes sense.
It's probably the best way to
got
do
a
it.
case.
Yeah, we got a case.
What case is it?
It's the Uwu case.
Hello,
like, I'm
everyone.
fucked. I'm cooked.
Yeah, we'll
Hey.
chat with you.
Yeah.
Hello.
Is that you?
Did you say W Judge? Get the fuck out of here. Have a good night, man. It's good to see you. What? The fact I'm out here? What?
We ball. Is everybody
Just now bringing it up has me so fucking tickled.
I was busy. Would you say W because I told him to shut up?
Bang bang.
Like
Court
they
is
always
now
say
in
like
session,
W
everybody,
ruling
for,
judge.
Oh, you said W Judge.
I was
Okay.
hyping you up, I swear.
I got it. Get the hell out of here.
Yeah, I'm going to the courtroom so I can work on stuff.
You had some motions, correct?
Oop, wrong one.
I did, yes.
Wildflower's a good egg.
Elnari! Welcome in, guys. I appreciate you. Did you enjoy the court case? Oh, guys.
All right, let me
Oh, you guys are being cute. Stop.
Your Honors,
That was
the
very entertaining.
plaintiff's
That's the
attorney
point.
comes before the court
That's the
today
hope.
to ask for forgiveness and understanding. During the past few weeks, I've been operating under the idea that Mr. Klaus was going to settle out of court as we had agreed upon. And this was his wish and intention. Because of such, and because of the great burdens I was facing with navigating the PDO, I didn't follow up with submitting the evidence that I listed above. This is not an excuse, and I completely understand if the courts do not
W stands for
acknowledge this
worm.
letter.
How was your
I am
stream?
attaching
How have you
evidence
been?
that I have, along with the
Let me mute.
adjusted
Let me
numbers
mute
for
this.
the price of the business vehicles, business.
I wish we
fees,
could
and
role
the
play
equipment,
more.
in hopes that it can be considered. I did put all of those things in my filing. I had just put that they were pending. And
I
my
feel bad
client
because it's like I
did
want to be able to
send,
reward like
that
maximum
to
whatever,
me,
you know? But
which I have here today.
All right, Mr. Klaus, do you have any
But
objections
again,
to this late,
reasonable. Sparks is
evidence
lawful
that
neutral.
was past the due date?
So I lean on
being
that.
submitted?
Lean on that part.
I do object. I have received no such evidence.
All right, I'm going to sustain the objection. I don't like late stuff. I know that you had it as pending, but you have had ample time to put this in there, so this evidence is going to be rejected.
Oof.
Okay, can I just put forward as well that we did agree, Mr. Klaus and I have substantial text messages from himself denying a lawyer repeatedly. He wants to represent himself, and he wanted this to not go to trial at all.
I
and
feel
be
bad
settled out of court,
sometimes,
Your Honors.
but
Which is the only reason.
she's
like
an
I
Air Force
said,
officer.
That nothing was
Attorney and Air Force
submitted
officer.
wasn't
She's
supposed to
strict.
Go this far. And the only reason why I didn't go this far is because my subpoena was denied.
Okay, did you come to an agreement at all to settle out of court? Or did you just agree to try to settle?
We agreed to try and settle. That is when I put the subpoena in because Mr. Klaus was claiming he only had $5,000 to his name. And my subpoena was to find out if that was true so that we could come to a fair amount.
You motioned to subpoena him, but then you withdrew it because he's going to be here.
No, not him, Your Honor. I put a subpoena in to find out his assets.
Oh, yeah,
So,
someone denied that, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this has been on the docket scheduling since the 16th, which is when we knew that there was not going to be an agreement to settle out of court. I'm sorry, but you've had ample time to add this evidence, so we are not going to be accepting it.
Understood, Your Honors.
It's been on the docket since.
Are there any other pretrial
22nd
motions you'd
of
like
January.
to throw in there?
She's been on the. She's
No, Your Honors.
All right, then we're good to get cooking.
arrest report, court verdict, list of seized items. Oh, this is gonna be really bad for her.
Yeah, go ahead.
You want me to do the opening?
Yes, please.
Will do. On January 22nd, 2025, the defendant Elijah Klaus was found guilty by the courts of San Andreas for defrauding the state in a money-making scheme that involved scrapping Uwu Cafe's air conditioning units.
What
and
is
then
she gonna
using the state
have?
funds to have them replaced. only
Arrest
to
report
harvest them
pending,
all
court
over
verdict
again.
pending, list
The
of seized items
plaintiffs, all of
pending.
which I named in this case, are shared owners of the Uwu Cafe. They were evicted from the cafe as a result, and the building and all of its assets were seized by the state through civil forfeiture. They are collectively suing Mr. Klaus, who is at fault for the cafe's seizure, for damages and losses due to his actions directly resulting in the forfeiture of their business, and they want to recoup their investments through the court.
All right, Mr. Klaus, do you have an opening statement that you'd like to present?
Is he representing himself?
Yeah, sure. Your Honors, people of the court. It is true, I was found guilty for something. However, as I tried to address the issue on that day, I was met with resistance. I have continually been in contact with the lawyer since she had reached out to me and tried to go over everything in good faith. However, it seems that was not the case. The clients never reached out to me themselves asking for assistance, money, anything, and I also have no records of that. The only thing that was received was death threats.
Okay.
I only received death threats. No proof of death threats.
All right. Prosecution, continue.
Sure, I would like to call Mr. Theodore Mommy to the stand, please.
I feel bad. Like the Luna is such
right.
a good
Please step
attorney,
up.
and I think the character is very interesting. And I feel bad about like
Sparks, would you swear them in?
absolutely. What do you want to swear under?
Donuts.
You want to swear on donuts? All right, raise your hand.
Pink frosted donuts.
Pink frosted donuts. Bet. Do you swear in affirm the testimony you'll be giving today is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, under the pains and penalties of perjury, up to including death and having to wear square glasses for the rest of your life? So help you those really nice sprinkled pink donuts.
Yes.
The witness is sworn in, Your Honor.
Thank you. All right, go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Mommy, are you one of the owners of Uwu?
I was, yes.
Was there more than one owner?
Yes.
And who else are the owners of Uwu? Were?
Mia, Zach, Scuzzy, Elijah, and Bertha.
Did you equally share the ownership of Uwu?
We did, yes.
How much did you have to pay for the Uwu Cafe?
It was somewhere around $260,000.
Do you have receipts that show this?
I believe we do.
And did this vehicle or did this business have any vehicles in its ownership?
Yes, we had 3.
Do you remember how much those were?
Hold on one moment. So we had a Yuga custom van. It was around $4,000.
Ooh.
A box truck, which was almost $30,000, and the other one I don't know how much that was.
Rose might entertain this.
Okay, that's fine. Did the state seize those vehicles?
Correct.
Did the state seize Uwu Cafe's bank account?
Correct.
Did you all have access to this bank account?
Yes.
Do you recall how much was in the bank account when it was seized?
I believe it was $230,000.
Thank you. One moment. How did you end up losing the Uwu Cafe?
Due to the verdict that was, the verdict that happened on Elijah's bench trial about the air conditioners.
That was a bench trial?
Okay, and what was that verdict?
Guilty.
Your Honors, may I ask, were we able to get a copy of that verdict?
No, but I have spoken with Yakkel about it.
Okay.
Oh, I see what they're doing.
He says
Okay.
that he was basically found guilty for stealing and doing multiple counts of fraud for the basically going on top of Uwu, taking apart the air conditioning, and then the government was going back there and fixing it for free. Yeah, that's why it was seized.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Mommy, were these things seized immediately?
Yes.
Were you given a chance to argue getting those back?
Nope. Outside of Uwu Cafe, I was told by Judge Yakkel that none of us would ever own Uwu Cafe again.
I'm sorry to hear that.
I got a question. What happened to the cats?
Last I knew, they were up at the Roxwood Ranger Station.
Okay, that's nice at least. All right, continue.
Was
I
there
have so
anything
many
else
comments.
of note
Moot,
that
God
was
damn it.
seized with the cafe?
We had some items as well, like a lot of fridges and storage crates.
Okay, how much does a storage crate run around, or how much did you pay for them?
At the time, we paid $9,000 for 2 crates, and I believe the fridges were around $1,000.
So you had 2 crates and how many refrigerators?
Two. Well, we had a bunch of fridges, but I have withdrawal receipts from our bank account for 3 of them.
Okay. And aside from the things that I asked about here, is there anything else of note that you want noted by the court that was taken from you?
We had also paid a graphic designer to make our menus and advertising.
Would you say that the seizure of everything has impacted you personally?
Yes.
How so?
It's calling for a narrative. I'm objecting for the defendant here.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, let me figure out a way to reword this. Did it impact your personal finances?
Yes.
Did it impact your emotional well-being?
Hi, Kerfuffles.
Yes.
Welcome in, love. How are you? What you up to?
That's all I have, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Witness, you're going to be cross-examined now. Go ahead, defense.
Thank you, Your Honor. Sir. So.
God, I love that
wait,
shit.
am I okay? Hello.
Yeah, you're sticking up there.
You said that we were all.
I love that
equal
shirt vest.
owners in the Uwu Cafe, correct?
Correct.
So, as an equal owner, would you say that there should be no differences in anything?
No differences in what?
In anything. It is equal completely.
I'm not sure.
Objection vague.
I will sustain that. It's a fine question, kinda. Just be a little less vague in anything, and kind of be more to the root
Also,
of what you mean. Was
I didn't
different,
say hi
you
to
know?
everyone coming in. I was a little overwhelmed.
Yes, please allow me to.
Sniper, hi. Gemma, hi. Nessa, always hi. Anna,
Good.
always hi.
We're all job responsibilities
hello.
equal and all abilities
Welcome in,
equal
guys.
throughout the company as owners.
Job responsibilities, yes.
And
Objection, he's answered the question.
Ask the second part again, because you did ask a compound question, so they have answered the first part, so now you're going to need to go and answer the second part. Or, sorry, ask the second part.
do we all have equal responsibilities?
Yes.
Did we have equal powers?
Yes.
Then why would there be a discrepancy in an owner and a co-owner?
Objection relevance.
I'm curious. Go ahead.
The relevance is if it was all equal, why would there be any difference? He has clearly stated.
Yeah, it's overruled. He wants to hear the answer.
Yeah, I want to hear the answer.
My fault.
So the difference, are you talking about like how you broke the air conditioners for your own personal gain?
All right, all right.
For the business gain?
That's not what he's
I'm
asking.
confused.
That's not what he's asking. He's asking why is there different. I'm assuming, is this correct, sir? That why is there different titles in the organization?
Correct, with different abilities.
I'm going to object
between
here.
like Owner and
Hold on,
co-owner.
hold on.
I'm gonna object here to weird.
Yeah.
I'm not super concerned about that. Let's continue on with
Yeah,
the new line of questioning.
yeah, that's a.
Variable.
It's pretty
Would you
weird.
say
Mechanics
that
on an
I put
organization.
in fiscally, plenty of investment into the Ubu Cafe.
I'm not sure exactly how much you invested in Uwu Cafe offhand.
It's super spicy. That's what we're saying.
Or
I was
what the
gonna stop
value of
streaming, but
fist
then I
is.
realized that was here.
Fiscal just means money.
Oh, fiscally. I thought you said fiscally. I mean, yeah, you invested in the business like all of us.
Okay. Would you say that I played a part in bettering the business and also making money for the business?
Objection. Relevance.
Sure, I'll sustain it because I don't think it's relevant if you help the business make money.
Yeah.
May I?
Yeah, it's a new one. Yeah.
So the relevance is that. Never mind. I'm just gonna. No. Were all vehicles purchased before adding to ownership?
Objection. Confusing.
I'll re-ask it. I believe. Did you buy the vehicles before you sorted out the organization? Like, sorry, did you buy the vehicles before you bought Uwu Cafe?
I believe 2 of the vehicles were purchased before Uwu Cafe was purchased.
Ooh, good question.
Was that your question there, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay, continue.
Awesome. No further questions.
All right.
He should have got an attorney. This is a really good
Thank
case
you.
for him to
Unless
fight.
there's a, do you want to cross or are you good?
No, I'm okay, Your
All
Honor.
right, perfect. Do you have any other witnesses?
Well, how does this work if I want to call the defendant?
They have the right to say no.
No, it's a civil trial, but it's his
Fair,
case.
Your Honor.
The answer is no.
Okay. Hold on one moment.
Sorry, I zoned out for a second.
She can't just call the defendant up, can she?
No, she cannot.
Okay, I figured not.
Yeah, she can't do that. To be honest, you could have ran this kind of like, you know, Judge Judy, where you go back and forth, and then you're the one that's asking the questions. You could have done that too.
That is nice, yeah.
Yeah, is there anything you want? Is there anything in particular?
Then you can ask if they want to bring up anything. You know what I mean? Because I feel like in civil cases, you kind of have to take the lead to figure out what the hell's going on and provide the paperwork. You know what I mean?
Especially with there's nothing.
Yes.
I mean, I got a few questions if you want to do it a little more Judge Judy style.
Oh.
I like
Sure.
Uh,
I'm all for something different, Your Honor.
Mr. Mommy, you all were co-owners, as you said?
I think Judge Judy style is the
yeah.
best way to do this.
And did any of you know that this was happening?
No.
Do you know?
Can
go
I
ahead. No,
answer that a little bit bigger? So, like, one day he had mentioned that the air conditioner was acting up. Other than that, that's all I know.
Okay. Did you?
Can we not
how
clip
did you
through the
all know
fucking
each other
walls?
to go into business together? You know.
Before the flood, like a year and a half ago, most of us had worked at Ulu Cafe together.
Okay, so you all plan to get money together to buy the business together, correct?
Yes.
I like the style way better.
Do you know that there's like a risk with going into business with people?
Yes.
Pretty substantial one, right? You probably would want to go into business with reputable people who you trust.
And at the time, we believed that we trusted Elijah.
Well, Elijah, do you find yourself to be trustworthy?
I would say so.
Did anybody else know that you were doing this? You
Yes.
don't have to answer. Oh, ooh, okay. So they knew that you were going up there and taking the air conditioning apart, and then that the city was sending a worker by to fix it.
Well, I was working on the air conditioner, but I never actually took them apart, nor evidence was done for that.
Okay, interesting.
Is there anything you would like to add, Morgan?
No, I mean, I'm assuming there was evidence for the verdict, so just that's it, Your Honor.
How much money did you put into the business, Elijah?
Initial investment of $60,000. After that, periodic investments, time, and also getting appliances and storage as well.
How many owners were there?
According to the logs, it is showing 6.
So 6 of you went in. I mean, the math isn't really mathing there, right? 6 times 6 is 36. It was only bought for $238,000. Obviously, some people put in less.
The math isn't mathing.
Indeed, Your Honor.
Mr. Mommy, do you disagree with that statement?
No.
Okay, everybody's equal owners. You all agreed to go in on this as co-owners. Did you understand the risks that if someone committed crime on the business and got like a felony, that the business would be taken?
Yes.
Alrighty. You got anything else, Morgan?
I do not, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Elijah, do you have anything else?
20 minutes.
I do not.
All right. Chalk and I are going to go back there and deliberate. I mean, unless Chalk has any questions.
I couldn't think of any. I was kind of, you know. So it's
Yeah.
kind of like clear cut. It's kind of clear cut. There's really nothing else we can go over unless you guys want to bring up something.
We not clip through the wall
I mean, I
camera.
have the receipts from my clients on paper.
Yeah, you didn't submit it though.
Yeah,
In time.
He just asked if I had anything to bring up there. So that's what I
got it,
have.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah, if there's something you can say, then yeah, we're good here. Because I don't see any other evidence in the docket.
Give us like 5 minutes to go and deliberate here, everybody, and then we'll be back with a decision. Just a reminder, I mean, tomorrow we are putting UWU up, or sorry, Sunday we are putting UWU up for auction. It's going to be a cash auction, so you need to arrive with all the cash in hand. Good luck. We'll see you.
Thank you.
I don't know. It's an auction.
Sanders, you're in charge. Sorry,
No.
Sparks, I mean,
yeah.
Sparks.
What? No, go. All right. God damn it. Do I need to put on a fucking accent? God damn it. Oh, fuck. Oh, it's gonna be a short stream tonight. I'm excited for my I'm excited for my day tomorrow. Psst. What? Psst, psst. What?
Hey, are you gonna be around tomorrow?
No.
Shit.
Why? What's up?
Oh, it's eviction day.
Oh no, my Lucy and I are taking a whole day to ourselves. She's been working like 60 hours a week, so.
Oh shit.
All right, we got our verdict here.
Oh god damn.
I'm gonna start out with I don't know what Yakko was going on about that you guys could never own the business again. Obviously, the business isn't just gonna be transferred to you when someone does a crime and loses the business. But if you guys would like to go tomorrow and bid on it, then that's your right. You're
Not
more
tomorrow,
than-
Sunday.
Sorry, Sunday. You're more than welcome to do that. However, here we're at a bit of a crucial point that I think everybody needs to know. That going into business with someone and being a co-owner or an owner, it has its risks. If you have 8 people on the business and one person does a bad and loses everybody the business, right? You can't just go and sue them for everything. You trusted them as an owner. So today we're going to be finding the defendant here, I guess not guilty. We're not going to be awarding any money. You guys knew the risks of going into business with someone. You all, or Mr. Mommy had even said that he trusted the person. So, yeah, That. Way to go, I guess. Be careful who you go into business with. That is the moral of the story. Bang bang.
Too many cooks in the kitchen. Never a good thing.
She did there.
That's pretty good.
Are we
Thank you,
dismissed?
honors.
Yeah, you're good to go.
Dismissed.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry. There you go.
You got any questions for me, Morgan, or are you good?
No, it makes sense to me.
All right, I was just making sure.
This
All right.
This is why people need business attorneys.
Yeah, Morgan, did you like that better? Like just doing like question style where we go back and forth with each other.
Did you just hear that, man?
Yeah, I mean, in the case like for something like this, yes, when they are refusing to get a lawyer and they're alone.
I just think in general, right? Because you can give your piece, then we can ask questions, and then you can ask questions like other people. You know what I mean? 'Cause everyone has their piece, they can go back
Otherwise,
and forth,
it's really
right?
hard for you to make a case.
Yeah.
I liked it.
All right, perfect.
Like
Yeah.
I like anything new and exciting.
Yeah, this is how I like to do my civil cases because everyone gets their piece and then they can go back and forth, and then I just kind of have to like make sure everyone stays on task. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Can you throw my basic ruling in there, Blake, into the docket?
Got it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Super
Blake.
basic. No
I'm gonna miss you while you're on vacation.
Yeah.
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 Who's going on vacation?
Blake is.
Yeah.
Well, that was quick.
Alright, thank you, Blake. I appreciate it.
All right, I'm gonna end stream. I'm EP, and I'm gonna go lay down with my partner. Oh, I see. I see what the decision on that one was. Okay. All right. Ba, 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 ba. Let's see. Do we have any other drinks? Yeah. We're gonna do a run back. We're gonna find someone to raid, and then yeah. Does anyone need anything from me before I head to bed? I want to take that as... No. Yeah, it'll be good. It'll be a good day. We're gonna see if we get stopped somewhere. Alright, I'm heading out.
Maybe the governor. This is the governor's call.
Oh wait, hold on. Wrong channel. On the wrong fucking channel this whole time.
Oh.
Does anyone need anything from me before I clock out?
Yeah, I do actually. Can you come to my office?
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
That's fair. I'm gonna head on down to the harbor. Don't be a stranger. If you need anything, give a call.
Ooh.
Oh, how's it going?
How's it going?
I mean,
So this company is actually screwing over like individuals now.
Okay, that's pretty funny. We'll talk about that after.
Yeah,
Sparks, have a seat. Have a seat.
Okay.
So it got brought to my attention today about this Axel Jones situation.
Yes, sir. What about it?
That the guy was. Do you know what they were on HUT for?
Jailbreak.
Yeah, they were on HUT for jailbreak.
Yep.
And then you let them out today, and you think they're gonna show up?
There was nothing presented by the state for any other reason. As far as I can tell from looking at the report, I didn't let them out. I released them habeas corpus for that specific charge, but the Marshal Service specifically had them in for what, like two times second-degree murder, so they're still in jail. But we're not held by the civil liability for the specific hold beyond the but for the jailbreak, so they shouldn't be out.
Incidents. They had a warrant out for jailbreak.
Yeah, and then there's a sub-report.
They broke out of jail.
Yes, sir. And then there's a sub-report on that for like second-degree murder and stuff like that.
Yeah, I see that.
Yes, sir.
2 times second-degree murder, 3 times drug trafficking, blah blah blah.
Right, which
He's
is
been.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, you're good. He escaped. The U.S. Marshal Service and Life Invader are tracking his escape. He's been seen. So, I'm confused on kind of what happened.
Concerning the order of habeas corpus on the jailbreak.
Yeah.
So the district attorney's office stated that there was an attorney. There's no response for them concerning an attorney. Clerk confirmed he didn't have an attorney. It was beyond the standard 10 days. So technically he's released out on the jailbreak with basic standard bail conditions, but he's still in jail because he is essentially there for life. So he shouldn't be released, but it just releases the liability for the Department of Justice for having him being held beyond what is like a reasonable consideration.
So he, sorry, I'm trying to not be confused.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
I was gonna say you released him on bail, but he was to stay in prison.
Well, yeah, no, the release for the specific jailbreak, but he's supposed to still be in prison. That was the intention behind the order, if that's what you're wondering.
I see what you're saying. So you didn't give him bail to leave the prison, correct?
No, sir. He's just released from the specific liability from being in prison for the jailbreak, not for his previous crimes that he should be in prison for.
Got it. Does that make sense to you, Chalk?
Yeah, it makes sense to me.
So he's in jail for life.
Yes, sir.
On previous charges.
Yes, sir.
You're just taking off the hold until trial because he's already in jail. Who gives a fuck if he's on quote unquote bail?
And the state wanted to give him time served, which was like, okay, well, that's fine. But I'm not.
It doesn't really matter. He's in jail.
He's jail. Correct. I was like, I'm not. At the end of the day, he still has to have his day in court. I'm just not going to sit there and default judgment something. I'm going to give them time to prep. And if he doesn't show for, if whatever PD comes down and doesn't deliver him for court or something, then then we'll take that into consideration. But
do you see how what you put in there might make it seem like he's to be allowed out of jail? Specifically, this man has been in jail for a significant amount of time. He is to be released with the understanding I expect him for trial.
Yeah. Yeah, with the reading it out loud, yes, sir, I do.
Okay. Can you go back in there and explain that he is meant to be in jail permanently until, he's already in there for other shit, and how that this was just explained poorly?
Yep, absolutely.
All right,
more than happy to do that.
See, this is why I always talk to people before I get mad, because now I understand what you're trying to do, but I also see how it was fucked up.
Yeah, I can. Yeah.
No, how can I make that better in the future or be clear? Do you like how do I make
People
it
are gonna
clear?
make mistakes. I mean, it is what it is. In the future, I would say if it's something with this like to happen again, I would say I'm releasing him from the quote unquote hold until trial for jailbreak. However, that does not mean release him from prison due to the fact of he has already been given life for other charges. Something of the sort, I would even maybe say like there was no reason to put him on a held until trial charge because he is already meant to be in prison forever.
Yeah, I see that they want to have a court case for a jailbreak, right? I think that's what they're going for.
The court
right?
case is only for money. In theory, right, Rudy? Because he's already meant to be in jail for life. So their court case is just for money.
Yeah, you're actually right. It is just for money.
Yes.
I mean, do you think they even should have a court case if they're in there for life?
I mean, the state could technically sue him for the fact that they had to go hunt him down and for all the fees, blah blah blah. But he's a prisoner for life.
Okay, so I filed specifically. This is only for the jailbreak. The defendant is already in prison for life. He was not meant. He was not meant to be in prison forever. Oh, sorry. Hold on.
All right, let me tell the sheriff so he's not confused, because he brought this to me.
I think it's reasonable confusion.
Yeah, 100%.
Whoops. All right, Justice.
Yeah.
All right, perfect.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how you feel about actually doing this case if he's already in prison for life.
If he's already in prison for life, who cares?
Yeah, that's where I'm at.
And I don't think a jailbreak warrants a death penalty case. Not for a capital. This isn't a capital crime. He just escaped.
Are they asking for the death penalty?
No.
Oh, okay.
They're asking for 50K, but like that's part of the. Where's the man going to get 50K? At that point, you're just taking it from Fleeca or Maze Bank or wherever this guy has an account, if he even has one. Justice Chalk, can you read over what I posted, or do you want me to read it out for you?
I read it out. It sounds pretty good to me.
Okay, understood. Sparks over here like, wait, how do people get this? Oh.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out if this should even go through or not.
All right, good.
This does look like they're just kind of asking for money from someone who can't get the money as a actual citizen.
In a chase, blue.
Yeah.
They blew a 61.
Wait.
32 ppm, but we had a doctor come down because they refused a breathalyzer, and they ran a blood test, and it was like over 300 for the THC level, and I was wondering if that's grounds for removal of a driver's license.
Yes, it is. It has to be 0.8.
Just for alcohol?
Or THC levels.
Yeah, their THC level is over 300.
So it's, if it's over the amount, then you can take it.
Okay, because I asked the DA and they weren't sure at all, so.
They should know.
Yeah, they told me to ask you guys. So they weren't really positive about being able to remove it.
THC level of 5.0 is equal to 0.08 alcohol.
Reading above 0.08 or any THC present.
Oh, any THC. There you go.
Yeah, this guy had 356 for THC level.
Jesus Christ.
The breathalyzer only picked up like in the 60s.
Alright, well there's your answer, buddy.
Alright.
All right, well, thank you, Sparks.
No
Good
worries.
job. I just wanted to clear up that.
Yeah, no. The guy was not to be released from prison. He's a murderer.
Yep, that makes more sense.
Okay, is there anything else I can help with?
Nope, that's it.
Nope, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sparks.
Thank you.
Babe, I'm kind of wishy-washy on this, right?
All right, let's run back. Hopefully we won't get stopped again.
But like the first time I told her about it, she sounded really excited about it. The second time, damn, sound like music. So I don't think she's interested in it anymore.
I need to reread that. That for opportunity to fail. This man in jail for has been in jail for a certain amount of time. He's to be released with understanding, expecting for trial. Blah 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 blah. I need to read this out loud, I think. I don't know how this fell through, but I'll sit there assuming that there's default judgment consideration. Right, because it's specifically on the HUD. That's fine. It will be a good day tomorrow. Is there a back door to this? No, thank you. I'm okay. Ugh. No. I'm okay. Thank you so much.
Have a good drive.
Yeah, you too. What is cable holding project? Oh, okay. All right, let's get you guys somewhere. Anyone specifically doing anything? Good night, don't let this worm bite too much. I hope I don't get bitten. I like my insides where they are, on the inside. All right. Where do we want to go? Let's see. Does anyone... Is there anyone we know that's streaming on Purple? Damn. Alright, it's fine. I'll see you guys next week. I appreciate you very much.